Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining my co host Mary and I for another Spiritual Learning Thursday. Every Thursday, we go over a different topic. After we play the video on the topic, we'll take any questions that anyone has and we'll try to answer them the best that we can. If you have any ideas on what you would like to learn about in the next upcoming videos, please leave a comment. We will be with you shortly. If you would be so kind as to take this time to give a like and share out the video, it would be greatly appreciated. Sit back, enjoy the show. Thank you so much again for coming. Hi, everyone. How are you? Hello to Nina, Robert, Scott, Boomer. Kevin is in here. Some other people, I'm sure. um, so yeah. So here we are. Mary has not joined yet, but that's okay because we have videos to do. So that was weird. Just came big all of a sudden. Um, we have videos to show, and yeah, I have two about spirit guides because everybody was really interested in spirit guides yesterday. So we'll do those. Here's Mary. That's why my screen went crazy. Hi, Mary.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
How you feeling, hon? There we go.
Um, I'm here.
There you go.
Hi, Robert. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Nina. Hi, Fancy.
Godzilla's
Hi,
there.
Godzilla.
Hello. That's Dan, right? Okay.
You what?
Okay, Boomer. I said Dan. Dan is Godzilla. I remembered his name. Yes, it has
Let's see.
been
Okay.
thunderstorming
Hi,
all
Boomer.
day here. So hopefully this will all work out. I figured we'd play the two um, little videos we have, one about just animal guides and animal
Okay.
familiars and all that. And then we'll do what types of guides. So is that okay, Mary? Hello, Mary. Did I lose you? Whoops. Technical difficulties.
I'm sorry. I was reading the chat.
Oh, I said, okay, I'm going to play the videos. I'm going to play the one about animal spirit guides and animal totems, and then we'll play the one about the regular spirit guides. That's fine? I'm going to assume that's fine.
All right.
Because I can't hear you. All right, here we go. So I'm going to fix this media style so that you guys could see somehow, some way. I'm going to turn myself around. Okay. Um, and then we're going to do the layout.
Can you get
All
it?
right.
Because I got it on. I mean, I got the laptop up, so.
Oh, well, I'm try to do it this way, Mary. You
You can
know,
do it that way.
the good old fashioned way of,
All
I have
right,
no
that's
idea.
fine. Hi,
And
Maria.
hi,
Hi, Scott.
Maria. I can't see the chat right now. And
Hi,
because I'm going
Boomer.
to
Can
have
you hear me?
two phones, because I'm going to have my two phones going, I cannot read the chat. So here we go. That looks good, Mary?
Yeah, it does. As long as you
Okay.
hold it still.
Yes, I'm trying to tighten the nut, the nut, the nut. Okay. There we go. All right, here we go, guys. Sounds up. Okay. Today we're going to learn a little about animal totems, animal spirit guides, and animal familiars. There's so many different beliefs about animal totems, animal familiars, and animal spirit guides. So let's break it down. In most cultures and traditions, there is a belief that every human has at least two spirit guides who protect them and guide them since either birth or a very young age. Spirit guides can be your ancestors, but they can also be animals. Spirit guides, in the form of animals, could become your animal totems. However, some spirit guide animals only stay with you for a season or a short time to teach you something and then move on to someone else. Ones that stay with you throughout your life are your animal totems. These animal spirits exudes the energy of the specific animal. Some spiritual people who work with the energies may call them familiars or simply just animal spirits. It is believed that the animal spirits choose you, either from birth or throughout your path in life. If they choose you from an early age, those usually become your animal totems. But they choose you. You don't choose them. Even if other spirits will accompany you on your path, it is still their choice to do so. However, those rarely become your animal totems, meaning they don't stay too long. The reason why they choose you varies from protection to guiding you through a certain period in time to help you in excelling in a difficult task. Spirit animal energies may aid you differently depending on the issues that you have at hand. Your animal totem usually represents the qualities, abilities, and characteristics that you currently have or you're in the process of developing. Even though you may have one animal totem throughout your whole life, it's possible, as I said, that you may be accompanied by different animal spirits throughout your life. Now I know what you're going to ask me. How do I find my animal totem? Well, start through meditation. You will have to start your meditation with the intention that you want to meet your spirit animal totem. If you focus on the desire, you may just be able to find that animal totem. Not always do they come to you in meditation. They may be able to come to you in your dreams, as well as just pure synchronicity. For example, you might see more cats than usual, or suddenly be surrounded by owl photos or information. You may also feel curious to look up a certain animal just out of the blue. You should follow your intuition. It rarely happens, but it is possible that you can have more than one animal totem. Usually, in your spiritual court, you will have your spirit guides, also known as guardians, angels, ancestors, elementals, or animal totems. Depending on your soul's purpose and your spiritual ascension, You may have more than two animal totems, and there's different reasons. More responsibility in the spiritual realm might be one of them, and then you have a higher risk of getting spiritually attacked. In order to navigate you safely through the spiritual realm, you will need strong protectors and a deep understanding of what you're doing. Those just may be a few reasons why the animal spirit can choose to become your animal totem or to stay with you for a while. Some people believe you can actually call on a spirit animal of your choice. However, these are not going to be your animal totems. They will help you with what you need at the time and the task at hand. They may, if they like you, stay around as your animal familiars. Well, now, is your next question going to be what animals can be animal totems? Well, there's some very special and unique ones, which are the deer, the turtle, the fox, the lizard, the butterfly, and the coyote. But there are so many. Black panthers, owls, wolves, bears, spiders, dragonflies, rabbits, whales, bees, hawks, ravens, duck, elk, frog, moth, hummingbirds, doves, crows, squirrels, snakes, red cardinals, blue jays, robins, eagles, elephants, and woodpeckers, just to name a few. But any animal could be an animal totem, animal spirit guide, or animal familiar because they all have different traits. And like I said, depending on what you're doing in the spiritual realm is what kind of animal you will need to guide you. Some people even think that getting along with another person may have to do with your animal totems. Did you ever wonder why you can't get along with a certain personality, no matter how much you try? Or why someone you couldn't stand before somehow becomes your best friend later in life? The reason is that your animal totem doesn't get along with the other. As previously mentioned, your animal totem has an energy all its own, and it represents your main qualities and your core personality. The reason why you may get along later in life is because you had new animal totems come along and teach you, and those animal totems got along with the other persons. Just to give you an example, a deer totem indicates that you may be someone driven by the desire to fulfill your life's mission. You tend to go against the flow, and you may also be very attuned with the spiritual world. If the other person has a tiger as their animal totem, then most likely you and that person will not get along if you have the deer. I hope this gave you a little more insight on spirit animals. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again. All right, guys. So thank you, Mary, for taking care of the chat for me. We'll go a little bit into the animals, and then since we just watched the video, hey Jen, and then we'll go to our regular guides. What the hell is going on out there? Oh my God, give me 1 second because it seems that between the wind and the rain that things are going crazy. And let me put Mary back on the screen. Is she somewhere? There we go. Mary, I just got to check outside what the hell's going on. I'll be right back.
All right. She'll be right back. Thanks, Kevin. I feel better than what I was feeling. I'll feel like that. Hi, Jen. Hi, Eddie, because I know he's sitting right there. He usually is, anyway. Hi, Fancy. I didn't know if I said hi to you earlier or not. Hi, Nina. In case I didn't, you either. Think I got everybody, but I'm prone to miss you anyway. I think we're gonna play it. I don't know if she's playing another video right now or gonna play another one. Hi, Lynette. Oh yeah, remember? Yeah, it's been storming. She said it was storming earlier there today. She had one go through this morning on her. She was getting ready to go out and it started raining, so she didn't go.
Oh, so sorry, guys. The the wind and the thunder and the rain, it's so bad out there. Everything was flowing around, so I apologize for my rudeness. Here we go now. Was there questions about the spirit animals?
I haven't seen any questions. No. Uh, remember said it was storming. Storm blew through there. I said it
It's
was
here
storming
now.
someplace this morning.
Hi, Lynn. And it's blowing. It literally blew the watering can I have, from one side of the yard all the way down to the gate. And I was like, really? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a mess out there tomorrow anyway.
Some reason you lost your voice or somewhere. Some
Uh-oh.
reason it bleeped out and it come back.
Oh. It's either too much spirit energy or the internet is gonna be acting a
Remember
little
said I got a lot
weird.
of questions, but he's not typing them out in chat.
Okay, boomer. So yeah, let's see. Anybody else have any questions about the spirit animals before we move on to the spirit guides? I'll play a short video on that, then we'll do talk chitty chat. I just wanna make sure there's no questions. I mean, we could do it all at the end if you guys want to, about all of them. It doesn't matter. But I'll make a quick cigarette. Hi, Kathy, love. How are you? So that we can play the video on the spirit guides. That's going to be a video too, and then we'll do the chitty chat, like I said. Because Mary does a lot in the spirit realm. Mary, how many spirit animals you have? You remember?
Oh God, I got. Let me think. I have a horse, a dog. I have a wolf. I have a owl, and I believe there's one more. I have a few.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
and then I have a dragon,
Yeah.
and my main dude, Jacoby.
Yeah, but he's not a spirit animal.
No,
So
he's not.
I have a wolf, Lisbeth. They told me there's a butterfly, which I believe is a spirit guide. I don't know if it will stay, it's a forever one, but it came to buy. Um, I have a crow. And usually when you have wolves, you have crows because they go together in life, so they'll go
I,
together in death.
I'm thinking that's what I got too. Crow.
You do, you have a
Uh-huh.
crow here.
Huh?
Yes, you do. Um, yeah. So do do we all have one in yeah. On the norm, Robert, everybody will have one animal spirit guide at least. If you do a lot of spiritual things, like I do crossovers, um, Mary does channeling and all this other stuff. She also does some witchy stuff, right? So Because we do so much in the spirit realm, we have additional because we need um, additional protection than just a spirit guide one can offer. So sometimes we have a little more. But on the norm, you'll have one spirit, one spirit guide. Um,
And
then
protector.
usually you'll have
Yeah,
a
protector, spirit guide, and animal.
protector or guardian. You'll have a animal totem, and then a ancestral guide. So you usually always have four. People are
Yeah.
always born with four, but they change because they don't know what you're going to
Okay,
be.
Jen.
Of course, when you're born, so everybody's born with like four guides, two ancestrals, and two like guardians, and then they change. They change depending on what you do, what you're going to be, and so yeah. I wonder if I have an animal spirit guide. Oh yes, I'm sure you do, Jen.
Robert said, "How do we find out what our spirit animal is, or if we have one or not?"
Okay, so the best way to find out if you have a spirit animal is, like I said in the video, you can meditate. I'm not big on meditating. I really never knew how to do it. um, you could start a daydream and like be like, I wonder if my animal guide can show me what they look like in this daydream I'm having, and you know, um, you can look for synchronicities, because once you put it out there that you want to know your animal guide, they'll try to get you a message, right? So you look for synchronicities, which are like if you're walking down the street and you pay attention and you see seven red jays all of a sudden, like why the fuck are there all these red jays? Well, or blue jays, or um a certain kind of bird. Why are there all these crows? Then that's probably your spirit animals to look for synchronicities. What were you gonna say, Mary? I'm sorry.
Meditation's the easiest way to get it
Yeah,
if you can meditate. Now,
right.
a lot of people can't meditate, so then you go
Yeah.
from there.
Now you could also. Is there a way of taking jabs at me?
Well,
What the? Oh,
Robert,
mom's calling. Yeah. You can also, Robert. Danny had a good way too. What he did was he said, "Okay, close your eyes right now. Everybody, close their eyes." And the first animal that you see in your head is most likely your spirit guide, your animal spirit guide. So close your eyes, Robert. What's the first animal in your head? Oh, yes, you're right. The native people do like these weed sessions where they come up with their different guides. But you have a dog? Oh, that's cool. Cats for me. There you go. Mine might be a cat. There you go. I'm going with a dragon. Yeah, you know, that's the best way. If you close your eyes and you're like, okay, what's my spirit animal? And the first animal that comes to your mind is usually your spirit animal giving you a picture of them. So, yes, yes, Nina, you're going through like what I'm going through. It's damn pouring here, the rain, the thunder, it's craziness. But hopefully we won't lose power. So we'll be here. A lot of people do have dragons, by the way. The first animal that will pop in your head is the last animal you saw. Not technically. I have seen no animals today. I've been in my house. No, I do too, Robert. I can't meditate. That's why I like to do the. I'll just sit and daydream. I'll start a daydream about like doing yard work or something. I'm like, oh, I'd like to be outside on this rainy day doing yard work. And then something totally different will pop in my head. And I know that, you got three of them. Okay, what three did you get? Well, that's true. I do know mine. But it usually works. When we do the exercise with people, it usually works. I saw an elephant and oh, the stupid dollar sign. I can't see what the heck the other one is. And a wolf. Oh, there you go. So you can have two. Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. Feel better. Sorry, an elephant, something else, and a wolf. What does it say, Mary? Can you see? This stupid thing is in the way. Okay, we'll get the next video ready. Oh, a mouse. Thank you, Boomer, because I can't darn see. Okay, an elephant. Well, elephant and mice, believe it or not, go together. Even though in life they don't like each other, they always stick together. Um, and a wolf. There you go. So it's very possible that the elephant, just like my wolf, has a crow that it's like the spirit animal has a spirit animal. Like so, with the wolves, automatically the crow came and stays here with the wolf. So it's very possible that the elephant and the mouse came together. Um, Kevin, there you go. A squirrel, a lizard, and a cow. Wow. It says mouse. Thank you, Fancy. Nina, you saw a blue jay? There you go. Um, so yeah, so that usually works. Like the first one that comes to your mind, if multiples come to your mind, um, you could have multiple ones. So yeah. I said an elephant, a mouse. Yeah, you know what it is? The mouse is covered by the dollar sign in the stupid StreamYard. And a crow? Crows are the best. Yeah, my crow's name, the crow. I shouldn't say mine. It's not mine. He's a spirit guide, but yeah, he hangs out with me. His name is Patrick. Yeah, an elephant, a mouse. Yeah, okay, I read it right. Okay, okay, good. Um, hmm, so let's play the video. Hey, Diane. Okay. Boomer. So let's do the video on the spirit guides now. So we'll see. I don't know which it is the first. You could have all of those, Robert. Like I said, like the mouse could come along with the elephant. Sometimes a spirit guide will have also a guide with them, so there will be two. The mouse and the elephant definitely go together, even though you think not. So they would definitely, the mouse and the elephant would be together as I would say like one guide unit. So it's then possible to have a wolf too. So here we go. Let's do the second video. Let's see if I can get it set up again half decent. Let's go. Do the layout. Turn the camera around. Turn the camera on. Here we go. We're still too high. We're too high. All right. There we go. Come in. Stay. Okay. See, okay. It's not so bad. Here we go. Our first two videos, we learned about elemental spirits. Last week, we learned about our animal spirits and animal totem guides. This week, we're going to learn about the more common guides everyone has and the guides that you're born with. So let's get right into it. What spirit guides are we born with? And which ones join us along the way? Well, there's many types of spirit guides. Here's the most common. Almost everyone is born with two watchers. These watchers can stay and become your spirit guides, or they may need to find more compatible guides for your needs. Most people don't even know the watchers are there. They don't interfere in your life. However, if later on they become your spirit guides, you will be able to connect and communicate with them. Also at birth, you have two grandparent energies. These grandparent energies, one grandfather and one grandmother, are in your direct bloodline, but passed prior to you being born. These energies are the peacekeepers and the bosses of your other spirit guides. What they say goes. Just as in real life, we all know how our grandparents are. Your grandparent energies are just like that. Your grandparent energies are always with you. This does not mean, however, you will not have more guides as you go along through your lifetime. And as I mentioned with the animal spirits, depending on what you are doing in the spiritual realm is what kind of energies will be around you. Now that we went through the four spirits you're born with, the two watchers and the two grandparent energies, let's get through some of the most common ones. Animals or animal totems, which we went over in last week's video. Human spirits, which are very common to be in your inner circle of spirit guides. The human spirits that are your human guides could have many different names. The adult ones are usually parental spirits, and then you have the life bringers that are children spirits, and you'll have the elders. The elders are human spirits, but who you perceive to have great wisdom. Now I know what you're going to ask me. Does everyone have spirit guides? Yes. But does everyone communicate with them? No. It could be that just life gets in the way, or some people are really just not comfortable with the aspect of life after death or spirits being around them. If you are receptive to the spirit guides, they will guide you. In what, you may ask? Well, they're kind of like life coaches, helping us make improvements in every part of our lives. Kind of like even counselors, helping us understand ourselves and others. They even come to us as good friends who love us unconditionally and tell us the truth about our strengths and weaknesses. They may help you with balancing your aura. Spirit guides are mentors who role model behaviors, personalities, and traits that help us grow. They're guides through our spiritual journey of life. There's many types of spirit guides. You also have the ancestors. The ancestral guides are connected to the root chakra. They carry grounded energy that helps us connect more deeply to the traditions of our bloodline. Working with your ancestors will often inspire you to begin connecting to rituals and practices that were part of your ancient heritage. These ancestral guides are not related or of your bloodline. You may also have a protector or a guardian spirit guide. You may have to call upon these spirits when you embark on a new journey, project, or era of your life that has a high level of courage that's required, or if you're very active in the spiritual realm, these guides will protect you against spiritual evils or dangers. There's also gatekeeper guides. Gatekeeper guides, also called doorway or portal guides, are like protector guides, but from the spiritual world. These guys offer psychic protection and support for spiritual communication. They manage your dream time and only allow higher vibrational energies and the most appropriate spirits to work with you. Spirit guides can also come in the form of angels or cherubs. There's a hierarchy of angels, and these groupings are organized by function, like guardian angels. Like spirit guides, angels are also available for direction and protection. Message bearers or messenger guides are guides that assist us in finding and obtaining information, improving our ability to hear, get, and deliver messages from the spirit world, and in developing our clairvoyant skills. There are also healing guides. Healing guides help us with our spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being. How can you connect with your spirit guides? Well, just like animal guides and animal totems, meditation with the intention of meeting them, you may be able to reach out to them in your dreams or even a daydream. Look out for signs or messages they may send you in your everyday life. Also, synchronicities. If you keep seeing something over and over again, listen to your intuitions and you will be able to connect with your spirit guides. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out our video last week about animal. Yay! Okay, so that gave you a little info on that. We have a whole playlist, of course, that has it also has all about the elementals, which so cool they are. And yeah, so no, I don't want that. I want to put back Mary. Okay. And then I want to turn the camera around. Uh-huh. There we go. Yes. All righty. Sorry, I could not see the chat because I was running both my phones. I could kind of see the chat, but not like. Okay, wait. Where's the comments? Here we go. Oh, hi, Shire. How are you? Welcome in.
I guess Lynette thought we wasn't seeing her. I don't know.
Seeing what?
See, she must have asked something. We'll go back and look and see. I was answering Robert's stuff.
Yeah, if you want to send Boomer a link, so
I said crow, squirrel, lizard, crow. That's the last thing I see. That she put until she asked me if I could see it. Lynette, did you type something in between that didn't show up? Or maybe they held it or something? If they did, I didn't see it.
Refresh if you see this. Oh, maybe she thinks you're behind.
You just answered me when you said someone couldn't see chat.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't think I'm listening to her. I'm
Because I
listening
said
to her.
if you could send Boomer a link, because I don't have Twitter or whatever the fuck it's called now, X
Oh, you
or
want me to
whatever.
give him? Oh, give him the link. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
give me a
That's what
second. Boomer.
I only have. Yeah, I have a lot of the spiritual videos. They're really interesting. I do about dreams. I do about meditation. We've done a whole bunch of stuff. There's like 105 videos in that playlist. Um, Let me see if I could just throw the playlist in the chat, and then if when you guys get a chance, if there's you go through the playlist and look at maybe what you guys want to learn, it's there for you. Okay, now where am I? I want to
Sorry,
go
Boomer.
to.
It's there now.
I don't know why it never lets me go to my live stream. I have to leave YouTube, go back. Like it doesn't even tell me that I'm live. Why?
It wasn't that I wasn't listening to you. I was just trying to handle that in
Like
the chat. I didn't know. It wasn't that I. No.
yeah, sorry. Choo-choo. Okay, here we go. I know you were looking for Lynette's. Okay, that's the spiritual playlist, so you can find those videos there. You can also find oh, did you let him in? What the hell?
Yeah, there's one on her channel, and I think it's on mine too. About
There we go.
about all this part of it. There's some at the end I didn't put, but I put for the most part I put all them, I believe.
Yeah.
What the hell?
What's he? What the hell on about?
Huh?
Hi, Boomer.
I'm having trouble trying to get these windows straightened out here. These tabs. There we go. All right. Before
Okay,
anything else, okay? Before anything else, because you know how things go when Boomer D's around. How one thing I'm going to agree with you 100% on. Okay, is at the end there of the second one about spirit guides, things like that. All right. Because I have some things about the totems and animal things, but if you like they said, if you pay attention to certain little things around you, something's telling you who your spirit guide is, what they are, and so like what's that word you used? Synchronicities,
synchronicity.
like
Yeah.
something that's repetitive in your life that you see constantly that you usually just disregard. Well, generally, it's generally trying to tell you something, a message of who or what your guide is, or something like that. So you got to pay attention to the little things. Certain lyrics of a song that kind of pop out at you in the middle of a song, or a phrase on a TV show just pops out at you suddenly. Those are the things you got to pay attention to, and that's usually your spirit guides trying to tell you, trying to lead you into who they are and what they're trying to do for you. So
Right.
that's 100% dead on there. I do have a comment. I do want to. When it comes to like spirit animals, totems, and things like that, okay, not everything works for everybody. It depends on a big part on religious and some personal beliefs of how that works. For me, growing up with half of my one side of my family being Native American, we were raised a way to find our spirit animals in a certain way and tells us what they are and why they're here and things like that. So what I did was a spiritual walk. Okay, because I too, like many of you, have seen the comments. I can't meditate. Okay, that doesn't work for me. All that other, the first one I inadvertently did a spirit walk because my cousin's been wanting me to do the peyote spirit walk for a long time. So by the time I was 12, 13 years old, they're like, we're going to get them to do it. So what they did was they laced a joint with peyote. They made it into a tea. They dipped the joint into it, let it dry out, and gave me the first 3 hits, which never happens. I should have been suspicious there. But as soon as I took those 3 hits, I was like, and that's when I found my raven. Okay, that was the first spirit animal that came to me, was my raven. Then I don't recommend this for everybody, especially in states where it's not legal, and YouTube's probably going to frown on me mentioning it. But back in the old day, the Native American way was, what they smoked in their peace pipes. It wasn't tobacco, okay? They smoked out, okay? They use a certain. I don't know if it's sativa or the other one. It's one of those strands that, it helps relax you. For those of you who can't relax, like saw somebody mention something about having, if they relax, they have a condition that it's very painful to try to relax because it's something that keeps them tense all the time.
Right.
This is one that it helps you relax, and it takes you to that place where, if you're lucky, open up your mind and you'll see them. Now, however many come to you, that's how many you have. Okay, like Christina said, you can have multiples. Okay. Another thing I agree with as far as the guardian angels and the spirit guides, they are born to you, like I said, from birth. Most people don't find them till later in life. Some people discover them early on in life. I did. When I came into my gift, my abilities, at the age of 5, I came into my gift very early in age. And that's when I started following. I never called for the name or anything. I just accepted the fact that there's somebody guiding me somewhere. Okay. If you want to know their names, you have to ask them. They're not going to divulge that unless you ask for it. I've never asked for it. I just know that they're trying to lead me in a direction. And trust me, I have ignored them plenty of times and did just the opposite. And that's why I'm living the way I'm living now. So that's on me. But yeah.
We're saying try to listen more.
Those are very insightful videos, but I gotta say, I mean, they're not. People gotta understand, it's not specific to everyone.
Right.
Some,
and then
religions don't believe in it at all.
I said like this is the most common guide, but that doesn't mean that's all there is. There's tons of different things. I just went over the most common, the most norm that most people would have.
Right.
Otherwise, I'd make a 9-hour video.
I did realize when you were on the topic of the totems and spirit animals, a lot of that, a good percentage of it, did correlate to what my Native American side, my family, grew up with. Yes. And here's a popular misconception about being on the bottom of the totem pole. You know that old phrase? Being on the bottom of the totem pole in the Native American belief is the one with all the power, all the strength, holding up all the others. Yeah. So if somebody ever says, hey, you're at the bottom of the totem pole, not knowing the real meaning to it, say thank you. Just a little tidbit there, because it's the bottom one that is holding up everyone else. They're usually the leaders, the chiefs of the tribes, the head medicine man, whatever totem they're building for their own little communities or units or whatever, or families. Each families can have a different totem pole. Father's always going to be on the bottom, then the mother, then the children in the family totems. Tribe totems, chief, warriors, and so on. So yeah, but that, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to, put my 2 cents in there and say, yeah. I saw a lot of people asking, well, how do we find it? How do we know? How do That's something you have to discover on your own.
Yeah, I
find
mean,
out what's best for you.
yeah, find out what's best for you. And
Um,
it's there's different ways, it just depends what works for you. Like I said, there's
right,
meditation, there's synchronicity. I mean, there was one day there was one week I went investigating, and every single day that week I saw a black bird, and I'm like, fucking bird, like following me. When I caught it on film, I realized that black bird was a spirit, and that's how I realized that there was a crow that we had
okay,
as a spirit guide that
right,
basically was a wolf. Um, so yeah, if you pay attention, and they want to let you know that they're there,
right,
they're gonna find a
right.
way. I totally noticed in every single video there was a black bird,
Right.
just
That's
totally
that's what I mean. For instance, like a lot. Let's say you're big on those nature channels. Let's say you're sitting there and you're watching a nature channel, okay? And an animal happens to be on the screen. If you get that feeling, that strong connection with that particular animal, the minute you saw it, that very well could be the connection is probably telling you that's one of your spirit animals. Like it's got to be like a imprint. It's got to feel like an imprint. Like the what's that movie? The vampire movie there, Twilight. Okay, you know how like with the wolf packs to find their mates is they imprint on them. Okay, it's that emotional, spiritual connection to that tells you that we belong together. Okay, that's another way of discovering your spirit animals if you're open to that. If you're watching Nature Channel, and a lion pops up, and you're like, boom, it grabs you like nothing's ever grabbed you before. It feels like there's a string attaching you to, that could be your spirit. There's many ways of finding out.
yeah.
Um,
I know, yeah, because I'm not I'll sit and daydream sometimes, and that's. And I remember one time I said, no, I'm gonna learn how to meditate, right? Yeah, okay. So
right.
I laid down to meditate. I said, don't fall asleep, just you're meditating, right? And I'm like, how can think of you're in the sand. Just think you're in the sand. You're in the sand, and then somebody texted me, and I was like, oh crap. So I text them back or whatever, and I'm like, I'm trying to learn how to meditate here, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I was just doing something with she said like a lighthouse or something. I don't know. I forgot. I think it was Evie, and she was like, oh, I got the picture of a lighthouse. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. I'm gonna go back to meditating. I lay down. I'm standing in the sand, and all of a sudden, something tells me to turn around, and I turn around, and there's a lighthouse. And I've been just talking about this lighthouse. I'm like, all right. So I go and I walk to the lighthouse with my daydream meditation there. I walk to the lighthouse, and a song starts playing. And I was like, wow, I haven't heard this song in a long time. What is this song? And the song played, and then like I couldn't get back to where I was, and I was like, I'm assuming they told me the song was obviously the important part, the whole thing. So I had to go look up the song, what it meant, why they wrote it.
all this stuff. Figure out what they were trying to tell me. So sometimes, like I said, it's not like that regular meditation. You can literally start just thinking of something. You're on a beach. You're on a beach.
Are you aware that your audio keeps dropping? I don't know if you were aware of that, but your audio keeps dropping every once in a while.
No.
Like when you lean in real far, like it drops out. We see your lips moving, but I can't.
Can't hear me? Sorry.
I hear you fine when you're leaning back like that. I don't know if it's your mic reacting to the different.
I told her earlier.
But okay. Yeah.
But I don't know if she
I'll
knows
try to
what's
remember
going
not to
on.
lean in.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear you just fine now. And I was hearing the most of what you were saying. I just wanted you to know that.
I was letting y'all talk. I'm talking in the chat.
Who's Ellie?
I said I've been talking in the chat.
Oh, Kelly Lavoie. Oh, hey Kelly, what's good?
Hi, Chimera.
Yeah, it seems that it only happens when she like
when I'm
leans
leaning in
in a
there.
little bit. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm trying not to do it. Try
Where
to
are
stay
you
here.
baking?
See, that sounded
I
fine.
swear
Right there.
she's baking all the time. Kelly is. She bakes all the time. I don't know if she does it for a living or what. But
What'd you say? Kelly gets baked all the time?
she's baking all the time.
She's baking.
She's a
I make
baker.
Are you baking some bacon while baking?
Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, Mary, put in your thing. You can just call
Shamira, what's good, Shamira? I've seen that name somewhere before. Where did I see that name before? Do you go to who's it? Texas
She's
Sports
been
or
here
something?
for a while, Boomer.
Texas front porch.
Yeah, Texas Front or something like that. I think that's where I've seen the name before. Yeah, I've never seen it in here, but I've seen it somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, it's barbecue time. It's Minnesota. It's nice. They got to get all their time in now before it freaking freezes. I was here last night.
It freezes in Minnesota?
Yes, go.
Who would have thought?
I bounced over to AG.
I was here the last night, and I bounced over to AG. I don't know who AG is. So, Mary, what's your thoughts on all of that? Like,
Yeah, I'll make a cigarette.
all you gotta say is you were spot on, Boomer. That's all. That like, if you don't feel like talking, all you gotta say, yeah, spot on, Boomer.
Boomer, you know that I pretty much agree with everything you say as far as in this part, because we are a lot alike in our beliefs and our abilities and everything. So,
Right.
for the most part, I never disagree with you. I think that people can have different ways of communicating. I think that they can have different belief systems and still be on the same page in some level.
Right.
So I'm fine with it.
Because I mean, there's one fine rule that we can't like. It exists, whether or not you believe it does or not, or
Right.
whether or not you believe it in a different way, or how it occurs to you, how it approaches you. I mean, it exists. It's just the difference is how, like, I mean, the path is there. Just everybody has a different route getting there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We can't deny that it doesn't exist because we've all experienced it. I mean, when I say we can't deny it, you, me, Christina, and those of us who, you know, have experienced these things.
Yeah,
Like,
because if I wasn't, I'd be fucking crazy talking to myself all day.
well, yeah. I mean, I felt crazy as hell today because, which is what my live stream was going to be later, and I might be able to make my 9 o'clock time.
Hi, Andre.
If because earlier, I was doing another recording of the EMF says and everything, and from the get go for like 3 hours straight, from the get go, it was just
I watched
nonstop.
as much as I could.
Even when I was downstairs getting dinner, I could hear it up here. I could hear it upstairs going off, and I'm downstairs in the kitchen, and it's like something was like knocking the crap out of that. And then after about 3 or 4 hours, it just stopped to nothing.
Well,
Okay, so I'm like, okay, and I'm sitting up here, I'm talking to these people. Like, I mean, if an outsider, if somebody was outside my window, sitting outside my window listening to me, they'd think I was a fucking nutter. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel that. It's like I feel stupid sometimes, but hey,
I almost want my
I
shirt
could say
so
that
hot.
the other night, Sarah was answering me and Shelly. We'd ask a question, and bam, she'd answer it. She'd say, she'd hit it if it was dead.
All right. One thing you got to remember, though. All right, because when I reviewed it, I saw your questions in the chat, right? You got to remember, there's a 20-second delay. So the response on this, you're going to hear 20 seconds later. So you may have mixed up the answers here to your questions because of that time difference. Because I noticed when I was watching the playback, I noticed the one question you asked, the yellow light lit up, which is with Sarah, it's the no answer. When she took it as yes, because before that question came up, a green light lit up. So you saw that 20 seconds later. That just happened to come up at the time of your question. So it's like it kind of got a little confusing there where,
Well, it kind of got, it did there for a minute. It got confusing for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was answering the questions. I think they were just behind and getting what answer was what.
Yeah. Because I'm like, wait, she's talking like she said yes, but I see it lighting up yellow as a no. So,
at least she was answering us, so they know.
Anyway,
I mean, she was reading the chat and she was, hanging out with us. It was just Kelly because it was in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And we'll take it like last night when Danny was on in the chat and he asked who Charlie was. I said,
hey, Danny.
I said, my dad. Oh, he just hit the chat here. And anyway, he said, I said, my dad. And then he told me that it was because he said that he was sorry that he didn't believe in this before now. And now he does. Of course, he get now that this is real. But he was like that. Dad was never one to he was raised as a Baptist in the whole 9 yards.
That's my dad too. I mean, I don't know if it's the fact that I don't know if it's denial or just total don't believe in it. I mean, I don't know if it's a mix of both. But my dad's been that way his whole life. Like it would anything related to paranormal or anything like that, it was like he would shut it down. Just like he shut me down when we were in the bank, and I felt this thing, I felt something from this woman in front of us, and I asked my dad, about it, and the lady turns around and kind of asked, well, what do you mean by that, or whatever, something like that. And, my dad just shut it down. Like, oh, don't worry about it. He just,
whatever.
Right.
You know, the kid's got Tourette's. He's an emotionally disturbed child. You know, that was the kind of shit that went on when I was a kid. Whenever something like that would happen. So my dad either didn't want to believe it or believed it but was in denial, one or the other. So
Well, no,
Yeah, I
it's
think
like
my dad. I think he. I think it was because of the way he was raised. He was
Yeah.
raised to ignore it, to not believe in it, that it was all the devil's work and all that.
right,
And I
right.
think he just realized that this is really real, because he come to you one time.
I think it's the only thing in my dad's life that ever terrified him, ever scared him, was the thought of an afterlife and people being able to
My
communicate
dad
with it.
too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my dad too. He like, yeah, he's like, he was just, it's not that he
I gotta turn that
was a
TV.
saint or anything like that, and because he was not, and he sinned every day, same as the rest of us. But between him and mom's beliefs, though, like my mom, she didn't grow up in church, and she was different, and she chose to tamper that side down and let it lay dormant for him.
right.
So basically, to not make a rift between them or whatever. And that's what she chose to do. Well, it's pretty much, I did the same thing, but I know
Well,
that she was gifted. I know she was.
yeah. Well, what I was gonna say was my mother. I know my mother, and she loved all that gypsy witchy stuff, you know. But
Right.
she was like, it's just entertainment. And whenever I would bring up something that was going on, she'd be like, "Oh, that's deja vu. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's that." And I'm like, I don't
Right.
even know what
Right.
these things are because I was young, like 12 or 11 or 12,
Yeah.
and nobody explains to you what these things are, right? So I was like, so one day I said something to her and she's like, "Listen to me, sweetheart. You can't go around saying these things. They're going to put you in the funny farm. Just ignore it." And
Right.
that was the mentality. Not that they didn't believe it. It was that they were terrified.
Right. They
That,
were afraid of what society
yeah,
would think and what the recourses would be.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right. Well, my mom, she'd say, "Oh, I got this gut feeling that you don't need to do this, do that, blah, 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 blah." Well, when she got that feeling, you listen to it. But she knew what that gut feeling was. She knew that there was things that goes on, and stuff. And it's like, say, "Oh, well, she was very superstitious of
yeah,
things." And so I really know she had that side of her that she just kind of didn't use it a lot. I wish she would have, but I do know that I kept mine quiet because like you said, I didn't want to be locked away. That's what
yeah.
they said they did to people that was like us, and they did. Many of people like us was locked away.
Good night, Robert. Have a wonderful night.
Take care, Robert. Nice meeting you.
Good night, Robert.
Of course, I've probably seen him 1,000 times in here.
Yeah, it's 1:30 where he's in the UK.
Yep.
I love my UK friends.
Try to get them to come to you in your sleep, Robert.
Oh yeah,
Well,
she said ask for the spirit guides or the spirit animals to come in your dream because they
yeah,
can.
that's another common way. If you can remember events of your dreams when you wake up, try to think about what types of animals and things were in there. What you see in a sign or hear in a song or whatever. If that's in your dreams, yeah, pay attention to your dreams, and that'd be one way.
And if you remember any of it, write it down.
Oh, right away. I leave the the past.
you may get it in parts. Like you may get one night, and you may get the next of it the next night, or it's like
Yeah.
it. I know that's happened for Christina. It's happened for me. Probably Boomer too. I know
What I
I do
do?
one night, and the next night I go back into this. I don't remember my dreams, but when I did, I remember some of them now, very, very few. But when I did remember, I know that I'd go to sleep and I'd dream this, and I'd wake up the next, spend all day, go that night, go to sleep, and I'd start back on the dream that I was having the night before. Have any of you ever done that? Start right back where you left off at? I've done
Not
that.
the next night, but I've gotten up, gone to the bathroom, and I had this thought like, wow, that was an interesting dream. Went back to sleep and got right back into it after
Yeah,
I got up.
I've never done that, but I've had reoccurring dreams that would, the next time I would have it, would pick up where it left off the last time.
Right.
They weren't the good ones. Now, mind you, the whole time I spent in the military, I never once saw combat, okay? Now, in these reoccurring dreams I was having for years after getting out, I'm in a combat zone with my unit and the unit I was in basic training with. I don't get that because there's only about a handful of people from my basic training that came to my duty station unit with me. But everybody that was in my company in basic training was there with us in my duty station unit as well. And I was just like, I mean, it was so surreal. It was like very vivid. I could smell blood. I could smell burning metal, burning rubber. I could hear the bullets. I can hear the whistle of the bullets passing us. I see my friends dropping on either side of me and things like that. And what was weird is I had these for many years, the same reoccurring dream, and it would always pick up where the last one left off. Never understood it. To this day, I can't understand why I would have such dreams. I can theorize that it's what's that? Survivor's guilt. Okay, I know survivor's guilt plays a big part in that. But it was just so weird at the time to experience that. It's like, why am I dreaming about being in the desert, fighting with my units? I couldn't understand it.
Maybe it's because you, like you said, survivor's guilt.
I'm sure that plays a big part, but I also feel like there's something more to it. I've also had dreams where I never graduated high school, but I did. It's like I'm running around like it's like I gotta do this all over again. I gotta do this all over again. Blah blah blah. In my dreams,
just telling you wasn't interested. That's all they did. You didn't pay attention, Boomer. They making sure you did.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to address the chat too because they were saying about the reoccurring dreams. So when I was 12, my parents took a trip to see my mother's biological father in Virginia. So we drove from New York through Pennsylvania through wherever into Virginia. On the way back from Virginia, we stopped at what they call the museum town, and there was this house. It was like a farm, and on the farmhouse, they had a lady turning butter on the front stairs, and she showed us how to turn butter. And then we went over to the barn area, and it was a big maroon. It wasn't bright red; it was a maroon color barn. And as soon as
did you say that was someplace in upstate New York?
No, it was somewhere between Virginia and Pennsylvania.
Oh, good. Oh, wait, no, Pennsylvania. That's what I'm thinking of. Our
Yeah.
class went to a place in Pennsylvania. From here, it was like a 3.5, 4 hour drive into Pennsylvania. It sounds just like what you're describing. That's why I asked. Like, sounds like
yeah.
the same place we went to. I don't know for a field
But
trip.
it might be. And I got to the barn, and my mom's like, "Come on, we're going in the barn." And I'm like, "Hell no!" I got this stark feeling like I was in that barn before. I didn't like what went on there, and I wasn't going in again. So I said, "Nope." And she's like, "No, no, no." And this is where she kept telling me, "It's just deja vu," and she kept trying to pull me. And I told her, "I'm not going." And she was like, "Fine." So she goes into the barn. I stay outside playing with this little kid on a tree stump. They come out of the barn. We leave. I don't think anything of it. We get home. As soon as I get in my bed, I have a dream about that barn. The dream is, and it's always was the same, and I always woke up at the same point in the dream. So I would go into the barn and I could see, I was looking through my eyes. I could see my arms open, like my hands open the door, but I wasn't 12. You could tell I was older, with older hands. But I knew it was me. And I walk into the barn, and there's those posts that are holding up the barn, right? Like the major wood posts. And it had a second floor anyway. So that's what it was holding up, I guess, those big pillars, but they were wood, big wood, And there was something engraved in one of the pillars. And I'm like, what does it say? So I would go to start walking towards the pillar. And as soon as, when your eyes are kind of settling so you could see what it is, there'd be a big stinking noise behind me. And I'd spin around.
Right.
And before my eyes can gaze on the door, which is from where the sound was coming from, I would wake up. This went on from the age of 12 to 19. So I'm finally like, that's enough, I don't know what it means. Obviously, this is enough now. But in between those times where I was having those dreams, so one time, and it had to be directly related, was I was like 16, around 16, 17, and I was going to work. I worked at a pool hall as a waitress. So I was going to work, and I passed by this gorgeous baby blue car with a black racing stripe. And I was like, this car is gorgeous. They shouldn't have parked it here, because what they did was they parked it in front of a house that was under construction. So it had construction scaffolding up. And I'm like, that's dumb. What if something falls? But anyway, I go to work. I don't think anything of it. I come out of work and I walked a different way that day home, so I didn't, see the car. The next day, walking to work, I come up on the car, and the car is the same color as the barn with the black stripe, but this time it's maroon. And I go, who the fuck would paint that pretty blue car maroon? And how'd they paint it and park it in the same spot? Like, this is the city. You don't normally get the same spot, right? I'm like, did they paint it right here? Like, I was looking, I was so freaking confused. And I was like, okay, I got to get to work. On my way home from work, that time I walked past the car again. I didn't walk the other way. As I come past the car is baby blue. Now I'm just standing there in the street like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, I don't know what that was all about. It all had to do with that barn. I still, to this day, I think it was about a past life, but I have no idea. But that was my reoccurring dream. So it's something that either trying to tell you something's going on,
I think part of the message there is, you said the exact same car was in there every time. You're the exact same building. Now, did the scaffolding change at all, or was it always the same color, same structure?
Everything else was the same.
So,
just
like,
car.
I mean, the scaffolding, if I was to symbolize it, would be like structure. It may be saying like you need more structure in your life or whatever. because that's what scaffoldings do. Is like they use it to construct buildings to make a solid structure. In the car, the colors just don't make sense. So,
Right.
like, yeah, I'm not sure what the car would mean, but it means something. It's the same one every time, same scene every time. It's
Well,
crazy.
the car part wasn't the dream. The dream part was about the barn.
Oh, okay.
The car was real life.
Oh, okay. I had it confused. I had it backwards. I thought you were in real life at this barn, and the car and stuff was in the dream.
No.
Okay.
So I went to the barn in real life, but I wouldn't go in. And then when I got home, the dream was about me being in the barn, trying to look at the words, not seeing it, and waking up.
Oh, I was thinking something in the barn triggered something in you to dream about this structure and the car.
No, the
Like
car
I
was
had it
real.
all. I guess I shouldn't have left to go turn my fan up because I got lost in that. I got swapped around. I had a recurring dream
Danny.
every 30 minutes. I would get a coffee.
Say
Then I realized, nope, I'm awake. Gotta love that Danny, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know why. I mean, this is in real life that the car was red and blue.
Okay.
Then it was that same color as the barn, and then it was blue again. And I'm like, what? That I just stood there in the street for I don't know how long, looking at the car and being like, how is it not red? Like it was just red this morning. Like literally, like what the fuck is going on? Like so confused that I was like, I tell you. I didn't understand, but I knew I was having that
Blessed
recurring
be, brother Danny. Blessed be.
I think you'd still be having it if you didn't, whatever it was, you must have figured out or discovered something to stop it.
Do you remember anything in particular that you saw in the barn that kind of gave you that eerie feeling that told you didn't want to be there, or was it just the barn itself, its energy itself?
So when I walked up to the barn to go in with my mother, I pulled away from her. The feeling I got was, you've been here before. No,
Okay.
you don't do it again, kind of thing. Like, no, don't go in there. So that I was just like, no, I've been here before and I don't need to see it again. That's what I told my mother. And she's like, oh, that's just deja vu. And she tried to drag me into this. And I was like, I'm not going. And she was like, whatever. And I stayed and I sat outside with this little boy on a tree stump. There's a picture somewhere of me and that boy because that's where she took the picture.
So you never even got as far as like seeing inside the barn to see what was in there? It's weird.
Nope.
Something happened in that barn. Dude.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling like. I'm thinking hanging. For some reason, the image of somebody hanging popped in my head. Somebody hanging from rafters. I don't know. Look, I don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah.
Usually when stuff like that just pops into my mind after hearing a story, it's usually part of an answer to the who, what, where story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, and I mean I knew like and from the dream itself, I don't know if there was a meaning to what was carved on that post, which is what I really wanted to see, you know? And I had remembered after I asked my mother,
there was something carved into one of the inside the barn in the dream, but you didn't see that in real life?
No.
Was it initials in a heart?
It was initials.
In the dream?
It was initials. It was definitely initials.
Okay, but it didn't have a heart?
I don't know if it was a circle or a heart. I just saw that there was a carving.
Because I just had an image of RJ and SM in a heart.
Oh. see that?
Do
Yeah.
you remember the initials that were in the heart or that were in the board?
Every time I went to walk up to see it, when it came that I could actually kind of focus, the noise came behind me and I would spin around. I never saw what initials were written.
RJ. SM.
Christina, when you first told me about that, do you remember me
Yeah.
telling you about that? My first thought was somebody hung in there.
Yeah. Now
Did they tell you that?
I asked the guides, yeah, and I had asked the guides. They said I didn't die there, but I was there before. It was a previous life.
Mhm.
I didn't die in the barn, but something happened in there. But they didn't say anything, so
And those initials don't ring a bell with you at all? Like maybe a past relatives or anything?
life, maybe it was my name and my husband's. I don't know because it was
I'd write it
definitely my.
down.
Well,
My
I'm feeling like
barn,
the RJ is Roger Johnson and the SM is Sarah Miller. That's kind of
Write
what
it
I'm
down,
feeling.
Christina, you may need to know that. I mean, for your.
And I think Roger, I think it was a mixed relationship, which was back in them days frowned upon, if not illegal. And I
Right.
think RJ was the one that hung himself because in my image, it didn't show, like, it's just a silhouette. Like, I'm looking at it into the dark with the light in my eyes, so I can't see inside. But I see a silhouette of somebody hanging from a rafter inside the barn.
Yep,
And based on the silhouette, it looks male.
that's what I
And then
got.
after I told you about that, I saw the image of RJSM in a heart carved out on one of the posts.
Danny says that's the names he got too, Boomer. And I remember telling her that I seen somebody hanging there, and it was a male.
Yeah, and it was
And
funny because
I am pretty sure that I told her he was not of our color. He was a colored man, back in them days, whatever.
Yeah.
But
and
I'm pretty
it
sure
was
I
funny
told her
'cause
that too.
I had the feeling that those initials meant something to me, or they were my initials and somebody else's. That's why I wanted to see them so badly, but I could never see them.
Have you ever tried doing a past life regression?
No.
I haven't either.
Me neither. So I'm not going to recommend something to somebody that hasn't tried it, but I've heard of other people being quite successful with it. But there is a huge risk take with that.
Yeah.
Your mind could get trapped in that past life. So I've been told, but I'm curious if you were to do a past life regression, if it turned out that back in the colonial days you were Sarah Miller.
It could be. And my spirit guide's name is Sarah.
Could be
it's
that.
not tired. Good night, sweetheart. If you didn't see me text it.
Oh wow, crazy there, Sarah.
Yeah, so that and it's funny because like a lot of people told me, no, that I knew Sarah we were related in past lives, which is why we found each other again and she's my guide, right? But
Did you ever ask Sarah what her last name is?
I saw her grave in the cemetery actually, and now like I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at the cemetery video.
I couldn't believe until recently. I never knew how popular the name Sarah is over the different generations. Even like
it's very popular.
Back in the colonial days, like everybody was Sarah something. Like there were more Sarahs back then than it's crazy.
Danny,
is that on video. Did you do a video of that cemetery? And you're walking in it, and you said you found, and he's looking. I
Huh?
think I remember you saying that.
That's the drama cemetery. And in that drama cemetery, there was a little girl's grave, and I felt so bad. She was 7. And then there was 2 unnamed babies, that passed.
Danny.
When I got home, Sarah, which was the little 7-year-old, was there with 2 babies. Those babies, she was their aunt, but they were stillborn. Anyway, the babies crossed over. She stayed because she wanted to hang out with Michael. Now, after all this time, Michael passed and she stayed to be a guide. But yeah. I like Sarah Lee cakes. Yeah.
Right.
But yep. But I literally saw her grave and the baby. Which it was the first time I really had something that I was tangible, that I saw, that I was like, oh, I actually saw those graves. And when they told me, and that's why I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not crazy. Because it was a few days later where she told me, no, I'm the one from the grave. And I was like, the grave? And now I'm like, oh, I'm not crazy. She's the 7-year-old from the grave. Like, it's just the little things that help you think you're not crazy.
Right. Y'all need to stop talking about food that I can't eat. Do they have a 0 sugar version of the banana coconut? Because that does sound good.
Of course, because Danny's diabetic too.
Oh, really? Is that a 0 sugar? Shame on you, Mary. No food porn.
Because banana has its own sugar, but coconut
Right,
doesn't.
it-
You can get sugar free.
That's-
So you can make a banana coconut.
That's one of the fruits that the stuff that's 0 sugar, where instead of the sugarcane sugar, they call it sugar alcohols. That's one of the main places where they get the sugar alcohols from. The natural fruit sugars and stuff like that is bananas, apples, stuff like that. It's like an extract from the fruit, instead of sugarcane sugar. But the best thing I ever tasted in my whole life was fresh sugarcane sugar juice from because when we were in Panama, we would hack a couple of stalks. That stuff grew wild out there in the jungles of Panama, right? And we cut it up a little bit, and we just sit there and chew on it as we're, road marching or whatever. It tastes so fucking good.
Well, they were doing that in a fair over here. They were literally, they would go. They had a booth and they had all the sugar cane. That at first I thought it was bamboo, and I'm like, what are they doing with it? But I realized it was a sugar cane, and they were taking it apart and making juice right there out of it for you to buy.
Yeah.
Kevin, yes.
Let's
They're making
see,
you all
2039. No, I got time. So I was planning on 8 o'clock, but since you guys started late, I'm like, I push it back an hour, and I'm like, I hope it doesn't go into 10, because I hate starting something that late.
Yeah, no, well, Thursday, because Thursday, our friend Diane goes live from 5 to 7, so I go right after her now. So.
No, I get it. I was just saying, it's like, I hope I can get, because I really wanted to watch your videos, and I was like, I hope she gets through the videos at least before.
No, they were short videos,
Because I was thinking you were going to start at 6, and I'm like, oh, okay, that'd be perfect. She only does about 3 hours, if that, and I'll start at 8, and then it was like 7:05. What? It's like, well, I'm pushing that back an hour. I guess I'm not going till 9. And then things started. I was like, wow, I may not be able to do it till 10. It's like,
oh, I think time's okay.
I pushed you through. Anyway, you look Look at store. There
We,
is cake mixes.
yeah, so-
yeah, I can't do the Splenda thing, but I do have the Pillsbury zero sugar brownies. I ordered those from Walmart. There's zero sugar puddings, banana, and the most recent I started getting is the cheesecake. Oh, it tastes good. Cheesecake pudding. It's Jello brand, and they're zero sugar, and they're fucking awesome. So,
yeah. So, guys, is there any questions about anything?
now you know how it feels. You want to do something paranormal, and everybody starts talking about something everything but. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I want to make sure we got to all the questions and I didn't miss any because I couldn't see when we were doing the video, so I didn't know if anybody had questions. I know you guys had a lot of questions yesterday.
Danny
The video
started.
I think they asked all their questions between the two videos.
Yeah.
But
Let's
I
make
have
sure
a
we got them all
question
answered, right?
about.
Here's the thing: did we answer all the questions?
It's not really a question. It's kind of a statement with a question undertone. All right. So I was brought up to believe, and through communication with spirits on the other side, that all right, there's a difference between guardian angels and what's the spirits one? Spirit guides. Okay,
Oh, yeah,
spirit guides. I've learned that they're. I mean, the story kind of leaned toward that, but it felt like they were going in a different way. I guess, but to me, I learned that spirit guides are spirits of either past loved ones or familiar to you spirits that help you out from time to time. They're the ones that can intervene if they have to. And guardian angels are the ones you have to call upon, but they're usually always watching. But guardian angels are the ones who kind of in charge of more than just one individual. Like they can have a whole group of people that they're in charge of helping out if they're called upon. Whereas your spirit guides are more of a personal thing. They're just for you, right? I mean, that's how because it kind of was a little misleading in the beginning of the story.
There's different levels of angels because
right.
Cupid, like there's Cupid, like they're not Cupids, but yeah, they're Cupid angels,
Cherub.
right? Cherub. There you go. The cherub.
Cupids were made up.
Yeah, my aunt has a cherub as a spirit guide. That kind of angel, they are angels, but they're there's levels. There's all different kinds of angels. I think there's like 7 or something. So some of them can be your guides. Like cherubs are not. They can be guides. They can just hang out and help. Like they're different, a breed altogether, So they can be your guide. So it really depends, like, at what level, You're not going to have a higher up angel as a guide, right? It's just because they're busy.
Right.
You have to call upon them, like people all the time call on Archangel Michael or whatever. Like you can call upon the Archangel. But they're not your guardians.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what I meant was the biggest difference between guardian angels and spirit guides are the spirit guides are the ones that are personally attached to you and do for you specifically. Guardian angels tend to just, they're in charge of multiple individuals to look after, right? And they're not going to intervene. The biggest difference I found was they won't intervene unless you ask them to, unless you call upon them and say, "Oh, guardian angels, please prevent me from robbing this 7-Eleven." You know what I'm saying? Then they'll intervene and create a situation that prevents you from doing that foul thing. But spirit guides, they're the ones that are always telling you, like, "Hey, you shouldn't do this." They can't stop you from doing something,
No.
but they can advise you not to. They can, they tell you where to go, what to do, or they advise you where to go, what to do. Whereas guardian angels, they can actually create a situation to stop you from doing something that you truly don't want to do, but you have to ask them to intervene.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we're all on the same page with that. That was the only confusion I had with the way
I'm on the same page with y'all.
describing the story. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got a little lost in there.
Yeah.
No,
that's it. Because I said there's an
They are both assigned to you at birth. Initially, you have an initial guardian angel. You have an initial.
Well, they're called watchers. They're not.
Spirit, you can gain more spirit guides.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, right?
Well, from what I understood, you have 4 when you're born. 2 are your it's an ancestral, like your grandparents. They call them grandparents guides, like
Right.
they're your ancestral guides. And then you have 2 watchers, and they're with you until either A, they find someone to teach you, depending on your needs as you grow, or
That's the part I was confused on.
or they fit into you. But they're not angels. They're
Right. They're spirits that have some sort of connection to you, either in this life or a past life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know I got a tree god, same as she does.
The
tree god, yeah, those are the elementals. We can go over elementals. How about in the chat? Are you guys to go over the elementals next week? Since we did animal guides and spirit guides this week. Oh, well.
Could I have been a tiger in a past life?
Of course you could have.
Always felt it's possible. I feel like one of my past lives I was a dolphin. That's just kind of a feeling I got, but I don't have any the only solid proof of past lives I have is memories of 3 other past lives I lived, and I remember my death scenes to those 3 previous lives. So, but I always kind of felt like there was a spiritual connection to the dolphin and the sea, and so I think one of my past lives was a dolphin. And I think that's why dolphin is one of my spirit animals, because I've got the raven, the wolf, and the dolphin are the 3 that came to me in my visions. The raven being the first one through the invertent spirit walk, and the other 2, I believe, I was just in a. I think the other one I was high as a kite, and I think the other one I was passed out in a drunken stupor. So that's when they came to me. That's when I saw them, bigger than life.
I'm laughing at you, Bummer. Drunk and
What?
stupid. You being drunk and stupid. You said.
Drunk?
Did you say you drunk and stupid? Is that what you said?
No, it was during a drunken stupor.
Oh.
Drunken stupor.
It's a term we use up here in the north.
I thought you said stupid. I'm stupid.
Oh yeah, I get stupid when I'm drunk too.
Yeah.
I have live, well, not anymore. They're all gone, but I had live streams to prove that. as well. I've done plenty of drunken live streams. You guys probably remember back in the day.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those.
All right, I got 10 minutes at 9 minutes. That's probably how long it's going to take me to set up. So appreciate you having me up. And it was a good show. I actually stuck around for it all this time, and both videos were very
over there. You going live? Right?
Entertaining. So I was able to stay awake for them this time.
Are you going live?
Yeah, Boomer's gonna go live.
Yeah, it was going to be at 8. But I wanted to stick around for Christina's videos and shit because it related to a subject that I know pretty much a lot about. So, I pushed.
Well, we've learned along the way too, haven't we, Christina? You know, we learn from each other.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Much love. Keep it real.
See you in a little while, Boomer.
Yeah, so next week, so Fancy said she was interested next week in watching the elemental videos. So we'll watch those and we'll talk a little about them. So I told you the answer to that one yesterday, Maria. Your guides told you the answer to that one. Go look. It's the last reading I did.
It's in the last part of her live yesterday.
On my live stream yesterday.
I thought I told you yesterday that she was going to read you at the end.
Yeah.
Didn't see it.
I know Maria had to go to sleep because it was late for her. She's in a different time zone.
Right.
But it is there. All that stuff is there.
No, we're talking about the answer that she give you. She answered that question in the end of her chat yesterday for you, what they said.
Well, the spirit guides say, yeah, the spirit guide said in your, I'll just read it to you again because it pertains to all of it. It didn't have a specific. Okay, I'm just going to read out what they said. Okay, male partner. You were asking about your male partner, cheating, pictures. You did ask about pictures, chatting with other females online. That's what I wrote down was the question. And your spirit guide said, you know what's going on in your heart. You choose to block it for peace of mind and serenity. But then your intuition now is taking over and it's overthrowing your walls. And you're back to knowing and asking. So now the ball is in your court. So basically what they're telling you with that is, you know in your heart what's going on. You truly do. You know all of it. You know what he's doing and you know what you have to do. And they're saying the only way something's going to change is if you do it. That's why they told you the ball is in your court. Yeah, it pertains all to that. All to that, like, you know in your heart and your mind what he's doing and how it's making you feel. I'm fed up with him. Right. So now the ball's in your court. You know, maybe he's not doing anything. I don't think that's the case because the way they said it is like, you know what he's doing. And if you're asking the questions, that means.
And she continues to feel that way because she keeps asking you things about what he's doing. So she's bound to be feeling this way for a while now.
Oh yeah.
So
they're saying the ball's in your court. If you want something to change, you have to change it. It's
right.
You have to do it. Yep.
And when you do something that long, there's a reason for you. He's done something or something for you to feel this way. So that's where you got to figure that out at. What you feel like you need to do. All right, he told you that, but do you feel he's telling you the truth? You have to take your, I mean, you got intuition. You know they're trying to tell you, your spirit guides are telling you that you know the answer. You just need to accept it.
Yeah, basically.
I figure that's what, I mean, that's how I got it, how you read that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what they said, because then she asked, I think in the beginning of this chat, is he gonna move out? Hey, Autumn, but that's still the
Yeah.
same thing. The ball's in your court. Did you ask him? That's what they said to me. Did you
Right.
ask him? If you ask him, because it's up to you now, because he will just sit there and do the same thing for the rest of both of your lives because he's comfortable with it. I asked him. So good. So since they said the ball's in your court, and did you ask him? So once you ask him, yeah, hopefully he'll get with it. But you have to be strong and you have to keep on him because, like I said, they get lazy, and he will, unfortunately. Yeah, and they'll just sit there. And if you let it go and let it go,
Hi,
and be
Autumn.
like, okay, another week, they'll be there for another 5 years. Out.
That's what I'm saying. She said she knows that he's done something for sure. If you feel that way, and you feel like there's no reconciling or letting it go, where you can move past that, then you're gonna have to just break the bullet, bite the bullet and say, hey, you gotta go, whatever. If for your peace of mind, because you're not getting peace of mind at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've been like this for I know a good month. So
Yeah.
or over. So I mean, I feel for you. And I'm not saying this in a negative way. Don't take it in a negative way. But I feel like you're not getting peace of mind, and you're gonna have to figure out in your heart, mind, and soul what you feel like is right for you, and then you're gonna have to do it. If you've been like that for 2 years, that's 2 years too long. You need to cut
Shire.
ties or something.
Okay, Danny.
We can't fix it for you. That's something that you're going to have to do for yourself. Even your spirit guides can't fix it. They can be there to help you through it, but like we have said before, they are there to help guide you, to help you through things. But you have the ability to either or. You make up your own mind. They're just there to help you get through things.
Mm-hmm. Of course, your spirit guides can help you, and you
They
can
can,
ask them. Oh yeah.
yeah, they can help you. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying that they can't
But they're gonna
literally
guide
do it
you.
for you.
They can't throw them out
They-
physically for you. Yeah.
right, that's what I'm saying. They can't physically get rid of him for you. That's something you have to do on your own. But they are there to listen and to help you go through your thought process
Give you advice too.
and
Yeah.
your feelings and
Yeah.
give you advice. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. You gotta just pack the stuff and put it out on the steps.
Have you told him that, Maria?
She said she told them to move out, so that's the first step. Now it's just keeping on him. Okay, I told you you got to get out. And if I tell him every day. So you know what you do now? Go to the court. I tell you, I don't, like I said, I'm not sure where you live, but go to the court and get an eviction notice because it's your house. Get an eviction notice. Be like, I need him out.
I mean, I don't know where she's at, but I know in the States, if you want him out real quick, then you call the police and say, hey, I fear for my life. And they will put him out right then.
Yeah.
There'll be no
Yeah.
questions asked.
Oh, I
But
live
I
in
don't know
Europe.
how it is here, Maria. Don't do it there unless you know for sure that he's not going to go to jail forever.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't know how
Well,
they are over there.
Yeah, I
But
don't know
here
either.
I do know that they will put him out that quick.
Yeah, but I do know that you can. I mean, every country has a landlord clause, I'm sure, where you can evict people.
Probably. I don't know.
So
But
yeah, I would just go to the court and say I need to evict him and give him a
lives in Norway.
30-day notice. Adios. If you don't, the police are coming to evict you. That's it. That's how you do it. Do it the right way. I mean, you waited this long, the 30-day eviction notice, and the most they give them is 3 months when they go to court if he's not out. So the most you have is 4 more months of it. So I would go to the court, because once you go to the court and get a court document, he knows you're serious. He knows. Because if you want to have those babies, you're not gonna have them with him. You don't want the time to pass, so he's gotta go. You know.
And I
I
don't
saw
see her having them with him.
no.
I don't see her having any children with him. But that just could be me. But I don't think so. From what I can see, I do not see you having any children with this man that you are currently with. I feel that there is a new man coming, and that I would say within
Yes.
6 months of your relationship. That's all. That's right. Make sure you're safe and that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said I think he's too lazy to do anything. He just got comfortable. Most men do. They think, ah, she's just fucking like pissed off today. Whatever, it will pass. I'm gonna sit here as long as she lets me. But when you get that freaking paper that says get the hell out from the court, he got no choice. That's why I say it's just easier. I think here it's a few bucks to file it in the family court,
Right.
and I don't know what it is in Norway, but I would look it up, Maria, and I would just go to the court, pay a few bucks, and bye. Yeah, you're right, Miss Christine. Yeah, because I had one sit in the house for years, and finally I had to take matters into my own hands. And I said, what's the best way to do that? So, you know what I did? I told my friend who I know is a chatty Cathy, and I go, oh, I'm cheating on him. She goes back and tells him. He's like, oh my God. I'm like, well, then you could get out. And boom, he was gone. And I was like, fuck, I should have told her this ages ago.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta do shady shit, but it works, okay? It works. You just tell a chatty Cathy that you're cheating on them, and then they'll go away.
I don't know how long it's going to be, Maria, when you meet this new person, but I do know after you meet them 6 months in, I believe you're going to be pregnant. I'm seeing 6 months pregnancy after you meet them. I don't know when the meeting is going to take place. I feel like you already know him, but you're not to that point yet.
Oh, yeah, see? And now you reminded me how hot it is.
What?
I said, Shia reminded me how hot I was because of the, when after it rains, it's so humid.
Right, right.
But it's been so stuffy and crazy all day. You deserve all the happiness. That's right, Super Thing.
You do. You do. And like you said, the only one that can fix this is you, Maria. I do know.
That's
I
it.
know in the state of Indiana, where I live at, there's a homestead law where, like, if you live together more than 30 days, you're stuck. You have to evict them.
Yeah, you have to victim. Well, that's what
Yep.
when my daughter and I had that big fight, and I told the cop I want her out. I told her that her boyfriend can't stay in my house. And he's like, well, unfortunately, you can't kick her out. This is my kid. He's like, if she lives with you more than 30 days. I go, so what was I supposed to do when she was 30 days old as a baby? Put her in the street? Like, are you fucking stupid? It's a kid. Nope. You even have to evict your kids in New York. You can't kick out your own kids because they lived with you more than 30 fucking days. So I was like, oh God. So I was like, okay, I'm
Yep.
going to the court, but that's how it is here
Yep.
in New York. You just got to get an eviction notice.
That's here
Goodbye.
too.
Yeah.
You can't, if they're of age, yeah, any age, you
It's
can't.
disgusting. Yeah, Autumn. See, here it's not
Maria,
so
I don't
hot.
know.
It's humid.
I he looks. I don't know. He looks to be in his mid-30s, I think, somewhere in there. So he might be a little older than you.
He's under 40.
Yeah, I think he's in the mid range. Um,
Might be around 38, actually, I'm hearing. Yeah, 38 is okay.
yeah, I mean,
You're
yeah,
32, so
she's
38 is normal.
she's
Yeah.
32, so I mean, that would be good. I mean, maybe you need somebody that's a little older than you, so they're not such a headache like the other one. How old's the other one?
That rules me out. Shire. Yeah.
Um, I don't see any kids.
I don't see any either. Oh, there you go. Mary and I had the same thought. I don't see any other kids, but
I don't either. I think this would be his first.
yeah.
So you're seeing what I'm seeing, Christina, like
Uh-huh.
after she gets with this person? Yeah.
No, they
Yeah.
didn't tell me any of that. Last week, they told me if she keeps going the way she's going and she waits too long, she's only going to have one child. And it
Yeah.
wasn't with this guy.
Right.
Now, I just saw somebody who's 38. I saw him alone with no children, with no past stuff going on. He looked to be, yeah, like 38 is what I heard. And so depending on how fast you could get the other one out is when you would meet him. And I wish I had 3 kids. Well, it could still happen. They said if you keep going on the path you're going, you'll only have one. But if you move the process faster or something else happens that changes the course you're on, you could have more. They didn't know that part. They
I
only
think
knew
what I just got to, and Christina can say if she feels the same way. I feel like this person is waiting for you to settle your stuff that's going on now. I think he's waiting.
Oh, you think
I
it's
think
someone she knows?
I think it's somebody that knows her or she knows, and he's waiting.
Oh, I didn't get the feeling they knew each other, but it could be a
It
passerby
could be that he
acquaintance.
knows her and she don't know him.
Yeah, he's seen her
He
in the
knows
coffee
of her or
shop a few
something.
times that she goes to. Yeah, it could be something like that. I didn't get the feeling that they knew each other.
Maria, I only see you having one. But it could be because of how long you're taking. I don't know. So far, I only see the one.
I am a lone wolf. Yeah, there you go. Well, that's what the spirit guide said, that if she follows this path, she'll have one. If she changes her path, there may be more, but they didn't say how many.
All right.
So,
So there you go. See, as of right now, there's only one. So I only see the one. And like I said, I do feel this person knows you and is just waiting. It could be that like he maybe don't know you, but he's waiting because he feels like you're coming. I mean, it could be spiritual wise that he knows that you're coming. He's waiting.
oh yeah,
You know, it could be that way. He doesn't necessarily have to know you. I'm just saying that.
right.
Good night, Super Saiyan. Are you going? You leaving us?
Thank you,
Hey,
Super
and you're
Saiyan.
welcome.
Good
Before
night,
you guys
love.
leave, I think is that Saturday. Me and you's gonna go live again.
Yeah,
Saturday evening.
yeah,
We're gonna go live again.
and we'll do something
Are you
fun.
not
I don't know
leaving yet? Okay. You just thanking us for. You're welcome.
what.
Stay as long as you want.
Yes, she said goodnight to Fancy. That's why is Fancy leaving? Oh, Fancy, good night,
Maria,
love.
you could, but as of right now, we're only seeing one.
Yeah,
So I mean, one's better than none.
that's right.
But you're gonna have to get. You got to get your irons in the fire straightened out
Yeah,
in order.
I saw a boy.
I was sassy boy.
Yeah,
I was going to
but
say the same thing when she said it. I was going to say it too.
yeah, I mean the little one looked like a boy to
Yeah,
me.
I see a little boy.
You know,
I see a little
like I
boy
said,
with
that
brown
could all
hair.
change. This is what they're showing us on their perspective, but like I said, depending on when, where, how,
Yeah,
everything changes. Everything's on a different timeline. You can do one thing different and change your timeline and change everything. But
yep.
if you have a boy,
It's right.
then maybe
You
you
know,
could name it Christopher after me.
our lives are prone to change. It's
Yeah.
you have the ability to take your life where you want it to go. You just have to do it.
Yes, I would. There you go. Um, so yeah.
I
But
see
our
him.
friend Boomer,
He's got brown hair. I know that.
yeah. Yeah, and it's a darker, it's not a light brown.
Huh?
It's a darker, it's not like a dirty brown blonde. It's a
No.
darker
It's
brown.
it's a lighter brownish color. It
Maybe
may
when he's
be
born,
it may be
but
a little
I
red.
saw I saw this boy.
It may be a
He
little
was
reddish.
already 3 or 4. Why I saw him at that age, I don't know. But he was
Yeah.
already 3 or 4, so it's like darker hair, not
And
light.
he's got wavy like hair, doesn't he? Like
Yeah,
I don't know, I see it kind of curly, actually.
yeah.
Curly, wavy, something like that, yeah. What's she saying now?
Oh, I feel he was a boy. Yeah. Oh, see that? Um,
Yeah, I do see that.
yeah, but that's what I saw was this. He was already like 3, and he had like a darker,
And I
like
think the one
kind
where
of wavy. It was short, but you could tell it was wavy on top. And
yeah,
I saw him from behind, so I did not see his eye color.
I didn't see his eyes either. I
He
see him
wasn't
running.
facing me when I saw him. I saw him from the back.
Yeah, I see him running through the yard from behind.
Oh my God, that's how I saw him. Really?
Well, I can say that Maria. I don't feel it's the one that you miscarried. This is one that's coming to you
Yeah.
that is your child in line to be your child.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And now it's not to say that they couldn't look alike either, because they could.
Yeah, they could. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I feel like this is the one that's going to be in your life.
Yeah, that no. Oh, that so yeah, they could look alike, but this is definitely the one that's going to be coming to you. Now, could it be the
Yeah,
same soul? It could definitely be the same soul.
I was going to
Like you
say maybe the same soul. Yeah.
yeah, because even though you weren't ready for it then, that baby is just for you, you know? So, um it's very possible, you know?
I
Yep.
don't see his hair dark brown. I see it like it's almost like it might have a little reddish to it, but it's like a I don't know how to put it. It's light sandy,
No, I feel
light
like it's
sandy
kind of
brown light.
like my natural brown, which is not super light, but it's not dark. It's kind of in the middle.
But you don't have to have any ginger jeans from to have a little reddish tint to it. It don't.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't
for
work like
highlight.
that.
And you don't know what the father's gonna have, this 38 year
Right.
old. So he might have some ginger in him somewhere in his
It could
bloodline.
be. It could be generations back, Maria, that it
Yeah,
comes
that's
out. I mean, that happens.
but yeah, funny how we saw the same little one. And it's funny how we both saw him, he wasn't facing us. So the guy has brown hair, darker than the child. It's almost like more to the blackish side, but it's definitely a dark brown. It's not black, but it's on the darker scale. So lighter, so darker than the your son and your hair. So I don't know how to describe it. I do not like blonde guys. Well, probably why they wouldn't send you one. Southern
I'm muted.
European.
I'm sitting here talking. I'm storming. I'm muted. Um,
Uh oh.
I see him like a medium. It's a medium to dark brown, and I also see him with a like a beard type. It's not. It's a well kept like. It can even be just like stubble. Like it's not
I,
very long
I was gonna say
of a
stubble.
beard.
Yeah. So it might have been that he is trying to grow a beard, or you know,
Right.
something of the
Right.
sort.
It's
But it
not.
wasn't like full blown. It was very like
It's well
tapered
kept.
to
Yeah.
his face, like it's not like stubble or anything. So it might be just something he keeps. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
He
it's
takes
not like
care of it.
beard. It's like my son's father used to have like this just to make him look a little older. Tiny little hair they would trim, like it looked like a tiny little mustache, but it was very light. But I can't tell because he's standing on a sidewalk, not next to anything. Like it's like a sidewalk and like a backdrop that they showed me. So there's not a tree or anything next to him where I could say he looks tall or not because he's just standing there. So I don't have anything there to give me how tall or not he would be, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain that. The backdrop is the sky. He's standing on a very light colored, like beige, very well kept, like cement, like street. But there's no houses, no trees, no nothing. So I can't gauge how tall or not tall he is.
Well,
Hi,
kept
Susie.
means as in it's clean. It's clean there wherever he's at.
Oh yeah, it was very clean.
I would say that he's anywhere from 5'11" to 6'1". It's in there somewhere. I mean, that's not a very wide. I mean, that's only like 2 or 3 inches difference.
I mean, like I
I
said,
see him
because
in there
of where
somewhere.
he's standing, where the way they showed me, I cannot
Yeah.
tell you how tall he is. I mean, he could be anywhere from 5'8" to, like you said, 6'2". It could be. I mean, he doesn't look short because you could tell his legs are longer in his arms, but I couldn't tell you the exact.
Hi, Susie.
No. I hope you're well, Susie. No, I think his eyes are darker, but again, he's far away. Like when they showed me him, he's standing. He has dark colored pants, a button shirt that looks to have like a
But
striped pattern, a
yeah,
jacket of sorts, uh like a blazer kind of jacket,
yeah,
and
he's in like work clothes.
he's standing farther, like he's like far from me, like if I would be seeing him from a block down. So I can't really
Yeah,
tell.
he's in like work clothes. He's dressed. He's got like dress pants on, very nice ones. He's got, like she said, a button up striped shirt, and he's got a
Yeah.
blazer looking jacket on. Yeah, he's dressed for like a businessman.
Yeah, but it's very casual. It's not like a suit kind of thing. It's a casual.
He hasn't got no tie on or nothing like that.
Yeah, it's casual dress. He could be a contractor. He could be a contractor. Contractors would dress that way, go to different buildings, make
Well,
sure
they're
everything.
the boss.
Yeah, because he's not the worker.
Right.
He's not the get dirty, not the way he's dressed. So he could be a contractor. He could take the contracts or stuff. Could be a banker. Like here, bankers dress kind of casual too. They don't have, So,
Right.
but it's definitely not a dirty job that he works. Definitely not.
Right.
I'm so curious now. I'm gonna have to go back and find the drama cemetery videos and try to see if I can find Sarah's grave. See what her last name.
Yeah, because I'm almost sure you said her name in that video. You was reading the tombstones off.
I definitely read her grave and the kids' graves. I know I did.
That's what I'm saying. I swear I heard you. Yeah, you don't have to go back and check because I'm about pretty sure.
That would be funny if she had the name here in this life and I had the same exact name in a last life. Wouldn't that be funny?
Yep.
No coincidences. I have worked with the sick and the elderly. Oh.
That's good, Maria. Good
Oh,
job
there you
ahead.
go.
That's what I did.
You're a preschool teacher? Oh, that's so cute. Yes. Can you make him sound less like me, Lunar? Shire, are you all that in a bag of chips?
I'm sorry, sir. You hitting the bottomless pit of no women or what? I'm
We're
sorry,
gonna
I
have
don't
to
live
find
over there.
a Shire woman. We're gonna have to ask the spirits about one, huh?
I'm sorry, I don't live over there by you, Shire. Carl not here tonight. I hope he's okay. He sent me
Oh.
the words to his song that he's wrote.
Oh, beautiful. You
I
know
mean,
what? But he was up
it is
late.
beautiful.
He was up late with us last night, so he might be sleeping today.
I'll ask him if I can share it with you.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
It's a beautiful song. He's about got it done. He said he's got to finish the
Susie,
once
I'm
he gets it done,
sorry.
he has to put it together.
Is it one of those tired days? It is. I think it's this weather too, with all this rain. Every time I go to step out of the house, I literally got my sweatshirt
I
on. I put my
swear.
makeup. I fixed my hair. I go to start putting my purse together, and all of a sudden, thunder. Now it was sunny and gorgeous, and all of a sudden, thunder. I'm like, is that thunder or is that something else? I go outside. I look. There's this big ass cloud. I wait. Thunder. I'm like, fuck.
It's rained
I'm
so
like,
much that we almost need web feet. I mean, think about it. I mean,
thank you.
it's just, yeah. There's something wrong with you, Maria. You should like them whether whether you got one or not. You still like them.
um, it is. It was a really good song. I'm gonna try to make another song. I did redo the song. I did a song like 5 years ago. I wrote it about paranormal. I thought it was really funny, and I did it to the background of my favorite things. And then I'm like, I want to redo this song, and I sang it, and I sing horrible. It was so bad. I never got any dislikes on my channel until I sang. Okay, so I was like, no, we're not singing anymore. But anyway, I like to write songs. So I had, now that the AI can sing them, I had the AI sing it with a really cool beat. So that will come this Saturday. It will be out on the channel. A remix of the song that I wrote with somebody else singing it and a different background than my favorite things from um The Sound of Music. It had its own like background music, but it's cool. I tried to use the same video though, because it was already done. So I was like, we'll use the same video. We'll just remix the music. Yeah, but now I can
Oh,
write a lot.
fire. Oh, Lordy, 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 have mercy.
I can write a lot of more songs now because now I can have the AI sing them. So I'm so
You got to
excited.
figure out a way to send me a picture of you, sir.
Oh, well, you have email,
Yeah,
don't you?
I swear she has said that name. I just know it. So she likes poor guys in dirty clothes.
All I'm doing is, oh, really? Yeah, you ate something funny, Susie?
Maria, I don't know. I don't see that.
Oh, they didn't tell us
You've
anything
been
about him. I don't even know what he looks like. That wasn't shown to me. Your ex at all.
there. You go, Super saying
Oh, I'm
I
sorry,
wasn't gonna say
Susie.
that, but she said it, and yeah, I agree. I think it's the type of guy she's picking is what the problem is.
Well,
Susie,
remember what we described to you, because when you see this guy, you grab him and you're like, "Hey, how are you? I'm Maria. I love your outfit, those shoes. fabulous with that striped shirt and just go with that. That's what you got to do, okay? If you see someone on the street that looks like how I described with the the darker pants with the blazer, and they're not the same color, the blazer and the pants, but it goes, and the button shirt with the stripe and the darker hair, you just go with that. Especially are the sidewalks there like big squares that are like very creamy colored with little speckles? Is there a place near you, like a building or something, that has that kind of sidewalk? Yes, there are. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna be standing like there. That's what I thought. I didn't see the building or anything, but I saw those big. We don't have that here in New York. That beautiful cream color with the speckles, and they're big squares. In the city. Okay, so that's where he is. He's in the city, girl. Oh, Susie, do you know what? Yeah, no, we're not talking about relationship stuff. We somehow we got a
Well, we was talking
vision,
to.
Mary and I, of what Maria's next boyfriend's gonna look like. So we told her, but we're technically not talking about relationship stuff. Now, Susie, when like I have a whole picture in my head. Not only in my head, I have a physical picture on my phone. I even sent it to Mary, so when if I pass before Mary, she knows what I'm gonna look like. Like you could pick in your head what you're gonna look like. So there was one point in my life where I really, really, really was super happy with the way I look. Um, so I'm gonna look like that exactly when I die, right? I have it in my head. So you can pick any point in your life to look like when you're past. Um, I'm hoping I can just have a little bit of the bigger boobs. We'll see how that
Uh,
goes. We'll see how that goes. But I think if I stick with everything just a little bigger, they're not gonna know that I tweaked those a little.
I got
Yeah,
to use the loo, as people say. So I'm going to
oh,
feed it. It takes me a little longer than others because of
oh,
my
yeah, yeah,
mobility.
yeah. Well,
So,
yeah, that's good. When you jump in chat too, Mary, can you put Boomer's link? Because we'll be heading out soon anyway, and then I'm gonna go over there and see what he's doing. So if
all
anybody
right,
wants to
I'll
join,
do that.
yeah,
I'll drop Boomer's link, and then we'll go over there. All
yeah,
right. I'll see y'all over there, and if I don't see you guys over there, then or if
we'll
you
see you
come
Saturday
over
here.
there, then I'll see you the next time we go live, which will be Saturday.
Yeah.
All right.
Christina, Mary, do we have guardian angels or are they guard our? Okay, so we actually talked about this. I know that. Oh my God, I'm too big. Wait. This is like, you're seeing all of me too much here. Okay, here we go. That's a little better. Hello. Um, that was like a big ass, like, shoo, here you are, Miss Medica. We don't need any of that. Okay. So, you're welcome, Miss Maria. Um, save the boobies, $5.99. Anywho, um, so um you have guardians. You have a guardian or a watcher as a spirit guide. They're not necessarily angels. There's a lot of, what do they call it? Like there's a hierarchy. So there's different levels of angels. Um, you could have like a cherub maybe as a spirit guide. Um, but most of the time, the angels are someone that you would call upon to help you in a certain situation, like for divine intervention. But angels are not necessarily just one person spirit guide, guardian. I need several. And you might have, depending on what you do in the spirit realm, you could have more than one guardian. Um, Definitely, or protector, as we call them. Hmm. Right? Both. You could have, but I don't find. I mean, besides my aunt is the only one I ever met with a your team. That's right. Um, Besides my aunt who has a cherub, and I don't necessarily know if he's her guide, but he hangs out with her. He likes her for some reason. um, But besides her, I never met anybody who had like I've met people with guardians, protectors of all sorts, but I've met angels, bad ones and good, um, and all different levels of angels. But I've never met somebody with an actual angel as a guide per se, besides, like I said, my aunt who has a cherub that hangs out with. um, so cherubs are like the lowest almost part of the totem pole on the angel scope. It's like there's archangels, then there's the guardians, and those guardians are not guardians for us, they're guardians for the world in general. Like they make sure everything's okay on this plane, on our plane, making sure things don't get out of hand with like evil stuff. So they're like guardians for everybody. They're not like, and then there's like, I forget what's right under them, but there's another one. And then there's the cherubs, and then there's one more under them, I believe. So it's like there's, levels, like in like your job, the cherubs are like in the like one step over the mail room, and then like the archangels are the boss, like that's how it goes. Yeah. Did I explain it right? A lot of words, Danny, but I think I explained it right. Mhm. They're little, yeah, they're little, but not super little. Like, I've seen the fae folk or the fairies, or the nature spirits that have the wings and stuff. I've seen them in. I seen one that was actually in this realm, and I've seen ones that are in spirit, which are just in the realm under us. Um, so it depends. They all look different, and I think that because they can look kind of like what they want to look like, it's hard to know what anything looks like, which is even worse. Because you don't know what you're looking at. Sometimes you're like, what are you? Like, a lot of people, they see horns right away and they think, oh my God, this thing is bad. And I had this beautiful woman. She had beautiful horns and like this feather cloak. And when she came, I didn't have any bad feelings. And I was like, oh, what are you? Like, you're gorgeous and you have these horns, and I love your like that feather kind of cloak would be something I would wear. I told her. I still don't know what she was. She wasn't bad. Hmm. She was she was good, but um, you know, deal with it. Well, let me tell you, he could have, because fallen angels are the nastiest things I think I have came across. The nastiest. And I had things attack me and everything. I never had anything as bad as that angel who attacked me. But he told me he's a bad angel, which I'm assuming that means he was a fallen angel. He told me he was a bad angel. Um, and he literally attacked me for 2 hours. I thought I was going to die. Like it felt like he was stabbing me with lightning bolts up my spine. I felt like I was being electrocuted. Like it was really bad for 2 hours. I was like, I'm not giving this person the satisfaction. Like I didn't want to I didn't know what they were waiting for to break me down or whatever, but I'm like, I'm not. I'm going to just take it. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. I just, for 2 hours, took this person stabbing me with this lightning bolt until I was like, okay, let me get up and try to walk around or do something, but still not like yell or something. Hmm. When that shit, you know what? I didn't know um, I had so many things going on that day that that wasn't the first thing that I thought of to call another angel because I didn't know what if they're in cahoots. I don't fucking know. That was when I was just starting, and which is another thing when you're really starting out your spiritual journey, you really don't know about how much protection you really need. And thank goodness the spirits figured out that I was going to be doing this crazy shit and that I needed protectors and stuff because yeah, my dumb ass was doing crazy shit and not protecting myself right. So yeah. And but after that I was like, nope, I don't like angels. I'm not dealing with them besides the aunt's cherub. But even him, I was trying to make him a pendulum for my aunt and him. And he was driving me so crazy I had to call Danny. I'm like, what the fuck does this dude want? I was like, Danny, he's driving me crazy. He won't do the pendulum like I like. I don't know if he's saying yes or no. He's driving me insane. He was literally driving me insane. I'm like, I don't like angels. The ultimate protector. Yeah. Well, now I have an elemental protector, and he's the bomb. So now I just have to call him. I don't have to call no angels. Thank goodness. I'm just like, protector. What's going on? Although with him here, I haven't had any problem. Nothing of the sort since. But yeah, it took me a while to figure out what the fuck was going on. Um, some of my isolation is because I can't shut off my feelers in public. Well, I I will walk down the street, Susie. I've literally walked down the street. I walked into a store, so I'll give you this what happened to me. Like it was really so weird that I thought like, man, I gotta get a life. But it really happened. So I walked into this store that I normally go into. That store I've been going to since I was small, since I was young. It's been there, I think, since the 50s. That store, maybe before. So, but I'm pretty sure the 50s is. And I used to go in there when I was young, and his parents owned the store, and now the son owns the store. The parents are retired or deceased. I don't know. I didn't ask. Um, but now he owns the store, right? So he is like some kind of he can talk to you telepathically and everything, the store owner. I didn't know this. I would just go in there and whatever. And so I went in there one day and I was paying and the owner was sitting down and I was paying the other guy. And out of the corner of my eye, I see a spirit walk through the back door and go, "Oh, you have a whole brigade with you or something." He said, I can't remember his exact words. You have like a little army or something because I had all the little kiddo spirits with me and whatever. In my head, because I'm like, I can't answer this ghost, right? This spirit in the middle of the store. Everybody's going to think I'm crazy. So I turned around and I'm like, oh, yeah, I have a lot of little ones with me. But I said it in my head and I was just kind of staring at the back door. So then I look over at the owner and I'm like, have a nice day. And as I turn to walk away, I hear the owner in my head say to me, that's Charlie. Um, he's been here a long time. And I'm like, oh, well, if he wants to cross over, he could come with us. This is all in our heads. We're talking as I'm walking out the door, right? So Charlie followed us. As I'm walking up, Charlie was talking to me, whatever, as I'm walking to the other store. And like halfway up to the other store, I'm like, I really have to get a life. This is what I'm daydreaming about spirits and people talking to me in my head, right? But as I came back and I was doing, putting away the milk and whatever that I got, I turned around and there standing there was Charlie. And I'm like, oh, Charlie, you're really here. And he's like, yeah, didn't you hear me and the guy talk to you? I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I almost didn't think it was real. So, and a lot of times they'll talk to me and I'm like, shit, like I can't talk to them now. And some of them don't, you can't talk through the head because they keep talking to you like, and I'm like, I'm walking, I got to pay attention, I got to cross the street, whatever, right? So I'll just be like, listen, if you want to cross over, just talk to the guides, but I can't talk to you in the street. But most of the time that's what I get talking, like they want to talk to me. And yeah. One time, I was with my sister and I was just like, wait, like my head was going crazy. All these spirits were talking to me. And I'm just like, look, if you guys want to cross over, you could talk to the guides and I'll talk to you later. And that prompted my sister to tell my daughter and for my daughter to call social services on me because they said I was crazy. So now I don't do that anymore. I don't, because now I'm like, yeah, they're all gonna put me in the funny farm. Good night, Shire. Much love to you. Compartmentals. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, I know, Super Saint. I used to cry for the babies all the time. I'm like, these poor little ones. And now I take care of them. I made like a sanctuary in my house, which made me feel better. So now I got all toys for them. Most of them I found as we were treasure hunting. They got balls in the backyard, all sorts of stuff. They got stuffed animals enough to choke 10 horses. I got more of their toys than I have of my stuff, besides my crazy crafts that I make. But they got a lot of toys. I let them stay and play until they're ready to cross over, and we take care of them because, that's what we do. And that makes me feel better. And I know I can help them. So I'm not as upset anymore. Yes. Yes, come up. All right, wait. Me and my yappy. Let me see how I can figure out how to send you the link. Oh, because I sent it to Mary. I could do this. I'm not totally crazy. Here we go. I'm so bad with this. Okay. So here we go. Where's Mary? Mary. So we could share this, right? Forward. Okay, here we go. Look, okay, technology, guys. I think I got it. I think I got it, though. Okay, you come up and explain to them about how to turn it off. It's funny because you guys asked how to turn it off, and I said to Danny, I don't want to turn it off. I just want to make sure that when I go out, not too many bad ones can see me. And how do I do that? And he's like, you don't want to just turn it off? I'm like, no, because I want babies and people who need help to talk to me. And I'm a little nutty, so it's all day long for me, guys, because I refuse to not help people. This is how crazy I am. There you go. Hi, Danny.
Hey, how's it going?
I love.
Hi. Okay, let me get this squared away here. Um, this,
We should make
yeah.
Danny bigger.
No, do not.
He's like, no.
Okay, so who has trouble with when you say you're in a situation and you hear all the noise and the voices, uh, you'll sometimes feel all the pressure, sometimes um, you feel everyone else's energy or you feel everybody else's emotions, all those type of things. If you struggle with that, just put a 1 in the chat so I can see, because it's really not that complicated and anyone can do it. It's like if you have the gift of discernment, or you have the gift of telepathy, or you have the gift of spirit visitation, anything like that, okay, you already have the ability to turn it off and on, okay, so that it doesn't affect you in your daily life, okay. It's just like a bear has claws for a reason, to protect itself, right? A bird has wings, so if a predator comes, it just flies away, right? Everything has a protective shield, a protective device, okay? And especially in the spirit world, in the spirit realms, and in the paranormal or the psychic realms, the empaths and all that, you all
Yeah.
have you all have a natural built-in on and off switch, okay? And it's very, very simple to do, okay? Now it
So
helps
we
with
have
visualization.
three,
What?
you have 3 1s in the chat. Kelly, Susie, and Super Saint.
Okay. So you guys, you have the ability to shut it off and turn it on, okay? Now, that's not shutting your gifts off or shutting your abilities off. It's shutting the receptors off. It's shutting the TV off, right? Um, so basically, all you're going to do, and I'll do it with you the first time. It's very simple, okay? And I don't care who you are. It is a built-in ability for everybody. Okay, everybody has this ability. But I'm gonna tell you how to do it with a visualization, because it's easier to comprehend that way. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna close your eyes for a second, and in the middle of your brain, there's a teeny weeny dot. It's very shiny. Okay, you're just gonna open it up, and you're gonna say "shields on." And when you say "shields on," it's gonna open it up, and it's basically a 360-degree mirror. Okay, and the reflection of that mirror is pointing outwards. Okay, so you're going to say "shields on," and you're going to push this mirror all around you. Okay, and you have everything that comes toward you in the spiritual or the paranormal or anything like that, the emotions from other people. If you're an empath, this works for you too. You just say "shield on," and picture yourself in one of those old disco balls, with all the mirrors, right? But those mirrors are all around your body, from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. Okay. So you say "shields on," and the mirror comes out, and it will reflect everything. Okay. When you want to turn it back on, you say "shields off." That's it. That's all you got to do. Shields on. And just for a half a second, that's all it takes. Focus on being inside of a mirror and having the reflection away from you. So anything coming to you bounces right back off, right? Shield on. And then when you're done, shield off. And everything goes back to normal. And then you'll be able to still feel and everything else like that. Okay. It's a very simple thing. And everybody that has any gifts, I guarantee you this is built into your system. Okay. It's built in. You can't not know how. It's just
Yeah.
it's like a chameleon, like a little lizard that can change colors. You know, it's just a built-in thing that you have with your gifts. Now, when I started back in 1969, when I first started, uh, and for those who don't know, I'm an ordained minister. I'm a elder shaman, and I'm an elder nature druid. Okay, and I work for the diocese of the councils. So, well, I used to. I'm retired now, but I did it for 55 years. Okay, I've worked in this field for 55 years. I've done all kinds of crap that we don't want to talk about. But I'll guarantee you, everybody has this ability. If you have any gifts, it's part and parcel. It's part of the package. You cannot have it without having it, right? Like it's home and host. If you've got the ability to feel others' emotions, if you've got the ability to see into the future, if you got the ability of premonition, if you got the ability to see spirits, hear spirits, or feel spirits, then you have the shield on, shield off factor. It's just part and parcel. Okay. Now, I did not know this when I first started, when I was training and when I was learning from the elders. I started at 5 years old is when I started my lessons, right? And until I was 14, I would get migraines. I would be terrible in crowds. I had fear going around people. I had a hard time dealing with anything. And the migraines, the pounding, splitting, painful migraines, right? And then one day, my elder said, well, why don't you say shields on, shields off? I said, what? And then he told me what I just told you just now. Okay. He told me what I just told you right now. And I said, what are you talking about? Because I didn't know. I had no idea. No one ever told me. Right. He said, it's part of your nature. It's part of your abilities because you have these gifts. These gifts, you don't just get the gift without getting the protection. Right. You always have the protection. It comes part and parcel, right? All you got to do, and that's what he told me. And so I said, okay, fine. And I had such a migraine at that very minute. So I just shields on. And all of a sudden, like within half a minute, poof, no more headache, no more nothing. Everything was quiet. I couldn't feel, and for me, it's weird because I couldn't feel anyone else near me. And I didn't even see the spirits. I couldn't hear the spirits except for Astro, of course, and Shakara. But everything else was like daylight. For the first time in my life, it was quiet. It was daylight, right? And all I ever had to do, and no one ever told me, but all I ever had to do was go shields on. And then when I was ready to receive, I'd say shields off. And that's all you guys have to do. Honest to God, that's it. There's nothing else you have to do. There's nothing you need to learn. There's nothing you need to study. There's nothing you need. You don't need any herbs. Shields on, shields off. Picture yourself inside of a mirror and having the mirror facing outward, and you'll be fine. Trust me, it works. Try it, you'll see.
Oh yeah, but you have to believe it, Kelly, because if you don't believe that it works, you could roll around in that bubble all day like a gerbil and still feel everything.
If you have the gifts, it's as simple as can be, okay? If you have the gifts, you have the abilities, right? If you have any abilities at all, then you have the ability to turn it off and on, just like a radio, okay? Because all it is energy, okay? It's energy around you, energy in you, energy through you, okay? You are a transceiver and a radio, okay? You turn it on, you turn it off. Simple as. There's nothing complicated about it. All you're doing is reflecting the energy away from you, okay? So when all the energy is coming at you, you just reflect it away, right? Simple as. It's no big secret or anything like that. And if you have friends that have this trouble, it's not a secret. Share it with them. Anyone can know this, okay? Because it's something that you should be taught. If the problem is, so many people have gifts, but they don't have an elder, or they don't have a teacher, or they don't have a totem to teach them these things. on how to deal with all the other pressures. A lot of people are self-taught, and so they learn all this stuff through life experience, right? And a lot of people just kind of figure it out as they go, right? There's not that many people that have actual structured training in what they normally would be doing, right? So, in other words, self-taught is no better or no worse than someone who's trained by an elder. No better, no worse. It's all the same thing, right? The only difference is when you have an elder who's had experiences and knows the different little tricks of the trade, who can impart them to you, right? It makes your life so much easier. That's the only difference, okay? So
Yeah.
that's all you need to learn. That's all you need to know, guys. Just shields on, shields off. That's it. And you're done. You're good. You're golden.
Super Saint said, "Wow, I felt relief instantly and I stopped crying instantly just now." Like she's very excited. Thank you, Danny.
You're very
Um,
welcome. And
Kelly
and
said something clicked when Danny explained it, so she was able to do it. Um,
you're very welcome. Yeah, if I'm able to help any of you with anything like that, I'm always happy to help out. Look, I'm retired now. I don't work for the diocese or for the Druid Council or the Shaman Council anymore, only as a consultant now. Um, but for my YouTubians and for my wolf pack, if you guys ever have trouble, if you can't get the answers from, you know, Christina or Drew or Sherry or any of them, if you can't get the answers, you can come to me or you can just ask them to come to me, whatever. I'm always going to help you out, right? I'll
yep.
never leave you stranded. I'm never going to leave you stranded. If you're having trouble with anything paranormal or any of your gifts or you need help with that kind of stuff, I'll never leave you stranded and we'll always point you to someone who can help you. Okay. That's just the way it is.
That's it, and that's how Danny and I met and got closer because I was having something attacking me, and I couldn't. It was so loud, and I couldn't stop it. And I was in Benny Loco's chat actually at the time, and I mentioned it in the chat. And another one of our friends was like, "Get me on Twitter" at the time, and I got her on Twitter, and she's like, "We're gonna set up a StreamYard so that Danny can get on with you, so he could see what's going on." And Danny helped me get rid of that. He was attacking me. He was scratching me, and the blood was dripping down as I wiped it, and there was all blood in my hand. I'd look down, and the cuts were healing. It was craziness. Oh, you're welcome, Dan. I'm glad it helped. Thank you for hanging out. He said he'll message you. Dan said he'll message Danny soon.
Anytime,
Yeah.
anytime, brother.
So it literally, like, if Danny didn't like send at the time he sent Mabella, and it was like, take care of that because the thing was yelling. It was yelling, so I couldn't even, because she was like, just put up your shields. And I'm like, I can't do anything because that thing was yelling at me, yelling so loud that it was distorting what the heck was going on. So Danny was like, when Danny got on and just yelled at him, shut up, I was like, oh, like, wait, I could hear something. Yeah, that guy was crazy.
Yeah, that was weird on my side too, because I could hear the thing that she's talking about yelling and making all this noise. So I looked in the camera like this and went, shut up. Poof, dead quiet. I said, Mabella, go take care of that shithead. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's basically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that guy didn't come back. I think his name was Pete, some kind of vengeful spirit anyway. I was doing a historical vlog and he saw me walking and he said next, and I caught the disembodied voice on the historical vlog, and I turned all around and I'm like, where the hell did that come from? I'm like, hello, nothing. Okay, I kept walking. I wasn't paying no, never mind. I wasn't doing anything paranormal. I was just walking down the historical streets. And for a week after that, every spirit box or paranormal thing I went into, all the spirits were like, "You're haunted." And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, then I'm like, oh no, I got an attachment or something, you know? No, this thing, they were telling me that this guy was going to attack me. One of them said he's going to grab your legs. And that was the first part that he started attacking and scratching was my legs. So they were trying to warn me, the spirits, but I didn't understand what the hell they were talking about. So yeah.
Okay, guys, I hope that helped you out. Okay, so that's all you need to do. All right. And like I said, if you ever do get stuck or need help or something serious shit, whatever, we're always willing to help out and to do what we can, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about it. Okay, I'm going to get off of here. Blessings to everybody. Cheerio, everyone. Bye bye.
Hi,
I'll be
thank
in the
you,
chat.
Danny.
You're welcome. I'll be in the chat still.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it wasn't demonic. It was just a vengeful spirit. He was murdered. He stayed here because he was pissy and he wanted revenge, and he could not find who the person he wanted revenge on who murdered him. And once the person who died, that person died, right? And went to the other side, he couldn't get his revenge. So he figured, I'm just gonna fuck with everybody else. That was that guy. That's that's what happened there. So yeah. So once butted heads with me, it could be possible. There's many vengeful spirits, and they do. He went, and because he said next, I knew I wasn't his first victim. The poor other ones, God only knows how long he haunted them for. Like, this was only a week of me hearing that I was haunted. He didn't do anything to me until that time, and thank God, he started attacking me. Tammy got Danny on the line literally within 5 minutes. Within 10 minutes of this going on, me being cut and whatever, they Danny sent my Bella, and Bella took care of it. That bye. And I didn't see him again. Thank goodness. Something like that happened to me with a Ouija board. It scared the crap. Oh yeah. And I didn't even, like I said, I didn't summon him or anything. I was literally walking down the street and he saw me videoing and he was like, she's next. Like, that why? I didn't do anything to you. Talking about the nice street here. If I was doing paranormal, but that's the whole thing, guys. And that's what I tell everybody. Because if it's like, I don't do paranormal, you don't have to do one paranormal thing. You could not believe in it. That's not going to stop you from walking down the street and a spirit following you home. So you might as well learn how to protect yourself, whether you believe in it or not, because it's going to happen whether you believe in it or not. Some people think I don't believe in it, so it's not going to happen to me until it happens to them. Okay, because these spirits don't know whether you believe in it or not. If they feel like they're gonna come and scratch you or bother you or yell in your ear, that's the fuck what they're gonna do. Oh, the last time I ever touched it, yeah. When I was younger, my mother used to have one, and then after, we used to play with it when we were young. We didn't know any better. I have to say that when I played with it with my friends, the thing never moved by itself. So I don't think we ever summoned anything. Let's hope. Or if it was good because it didn't bother us. But then my mother was like, "No, we're not gonna play with it," and she hung it on the wall. And I was like, "Why'd she hang it on the wall? Like, you can't play with it." But obviously she knew, like, maybe this is not a good idea having all these kids play with it. So she hung it on the wall so it was like decoration. Um, and after that, then I always associated it with decoration, like, oh, it's decoration. Like, you're not supposed to be playing with it. It's decoration 'cause it's hanging on the wall, right? So I wasn't big. I do like pendulums, spirit rods. When I first started out, I started with the spirit rods. Then that angel attacked me and he talked to me on those rods right beforehand. So I got a little nervous about the rods. So then I started pendulums, and then I started making them pendulums. so that they could use their own and not everybody was touching them. So, yeah, but if you are just starting out and you're not sure, like you don't have the gift yet of hearing your spirit guide, because it takes a long time to hear, guys. So sometimes you need stuff. You can literally take any chain in your house with something hanging. It could be a heart, a pendant, whatever. It doesn't have to be. Metal is better, especially silver, but you could use gold. Gold or silver is better because it's natural. Um, a copper wire with something hanging off of it, and ask questions. And the first question you ask is, what is your yes answer? And so this is Sarah's yes answer. Can you show me your no answer? And when they'll show you the no, her no is back and forth. Um, so you ask them what their yes or no answer is if you want to, so you can know what they're saying, right? And then you can ask them yes or no questions. Um, and that's the way you can start communicating with your guide. Most guides will do the pendulums. Like my son's guide doesn't love the pendulum. She'd rather do the spirit rods, but he doesn't really know how to do the spirit rods. But I told him I would get him a pair. One day I'm going to get him one. I keep like putting it off, but I really have to get him a pair. Oh, let me go here. It's easier for me to read. I threw it in the trash. Yeah. Mhm. Oh, wow. I went to Gettysburg with Danny, actually. That was so weird. I was really wanting to see all these spirits. I thought there I would see them with my eyes. I'm just not an eye seeing person. I hear them. I see them telepathically, like in the third eye. Like I can tell you, they'll show me pictures of things, but I don't see them with my eyes. So I can't see them like, only on video. And I used to catch a lot on video. But of course, because I was walking and I couldn't see them with my eyes most of the time, it was like really fast. But I have a lot of videos of spirits because they did come out and talk. Um, can you guide? Can your guide be someone who's been here? Meaning what? Like somebody who, uh, Susie, tell me again. Somebody who's been here, like a friend of yours passed away. Can they be your guide? Yes. Um, or somebody you knew? Yes. Um, a lot of times it won't be like your mother or father or somebody. They'll come visit you. Um, they can discuss things with your ancestral guides, but most of the time they just come visit. They won't be your guides because like conflict of interest kind of thing. But a friend, um, or an acquaintance, somebody you knew, oh yeah, they could be your spirit guide if that's what you were asking. I wasn't sure. Yep, I wear my necklace you made me and my bracelet with the different black crystal candy clear. Yep, the chakra chips. Yeah, and you could just take it off and you could use anything. Anything that has something hanging, you can use as a pendulum. Uh, I do pendulum, but I say only my angels and guides can communicate with me. Yes. Well, that's why I made them separate ones because that angel, and I mean, bad angels don't give a shit what the hell you say because they're fucking bad, right? So, they can, get on things. But I started making them their own because I'm like, don't let anybody touch it but you, Sarah. So I know I'm talking to you in case somebody wants to be silly. Because before even I'm like, oh, okay, any good spirits could talk. Who's talking? Blah blah blah. No, um, so because I wanted to communicate with everybody. I'm always I want to help everybody, right? But then that became like there was too much mixed energy. I couldn't tell whose energy because I used to be able to tell Michael's and Sarah's energy from anybody else's. But then the mix of all these different energies, I'm like, okay, this one's stronger, but I couldn't like it's hard to take apart all the energies, especially when there's a lot of energy in one place. So I was like, no, I don't like this idea. Everybody has to have their own pendulum. So Sarah has hers, Billy has his. When we do the crossovers, Vicky's learning how to be a spirit guide. Little Vicky, she's 5. She has a little dolly. It's cute, and she has her own. So she helps. I talked to her during the crossovers, so she's helping with them and learning how to do them, so she could be a spirit guide. So yeah, we even teach spirits how to be spirit guide. Not really me, I'm helping, but mostly it's my spirit guides probably teaching her. But yeah, we do teaching here too, which is cute. That's what we do. Hi, Mary. I think he hangs out with my guides. Oh, there you go. The black stones are the protection. Yep. I just noticed I have emojis. Yes. I don't have a lot because until recently, I better jump on there and put more emojis now that I have more members this month because people gifted them. Um, so yeah, because at first I could only have that many emojis. Did you answer me? I had it on mute. You're not up here anymore. What are you talking about? Answer you what? Now, now you got me going. What are we doing? Come on, I just want to go down so the chat goes. Dumb butt. Go back up. Okay, go back up. Am I on mute? Can you hear me? Where am I going up to, Mary? Oh, you want me to come back up? Is that what you said? No, I'm gonna jump off of here. I'm hot. I'm hot as hell, guys. We really started yapping. I know, and there's 15 people. I feel bad to go, but we already been over. 12 minutes over the 3 hours. So yeah, we probably should go. I'm gonna go see Boomer because he's probably, he's already an hour into his live stream, and we did say we'd go visit him. So I'll probably go visit, see what he's doing. Did you go over there, Mary? Is he doing anything interesting? I'm gonna eat something, and that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna maybe throw myself in the shower because it's hot. Yeah, we'll see ya, Boomer. You put his link, right? I was late to the party. Drop the link again. Oh yeah, if you could drop Boomer's link again, Mary, that'd be great. Can you do that? Let me make sure she hears me and she can do that, and then if not, I can do it. But yeah, we're going to see my friend. Yeah, we're going to see you Saturday, guys. If you're interested, I'll put it up. There's Boomer's link. Thank you, Mary. We'll put it up beforehand and tell you guys what we're doing. And yeah, and then so we'll see you Saturday. Well, I don't know what time. Usually it's between 5 and 6:30 on Saturdays. So unless we go out, then we'll go a little earlier because maybe I'll take you out on the town sometime. Kim, much love to you. Thanks for coming. Nina, Godzilla, Dan, Kevin, Super Saint, Susie. Who else is in here? I'm sure Benny is in the bushes. So thank you, Benny. I know she had a lot of stuff to do, but she's normally in the bushes somewhere eating. Jackie, you're here. Good night, Jackie. I didn't see you chatting. She's just listening. So lovely for you staying, Jackie. Thank you so much for listening to us. So yeah, thank you everybody who's here. 14 of you. Kisses to everyone. Unless she goes earlier. Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna just put a funny ass ending for you guys. Which kind of funny ending do you want? Here you go.
I have an ending video somewhere. Here.
You still here? It's over. Go home.